Hello. Probably should have done an additional 30 seconds because I was eating an apple. Hello, fishing the dot. Ah, la familia, baby. How's everybody doing tonight? Doing good. Hello, hello. I keep trying to schedule a time. Hmm? Oh, Matt wants my phone. It needs to be plugged in, babe. Um, that is not long enough. Anyway, let's see. Backlash Fisherman. Not sure if I'm familiar with you yet. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. Going to be um, starting off. Well, first off, to start off, everybody, let's make sure everybody knows everybody. Are you familiar, Matt, with Backlash? Let's mute this. Hello, 351 Cleveland. I always enjoy seeing names show up that I know. Names I don't know. I'm just that kind of a person. Kind of weird like that, I guess. Some people have issues with being around people they don't know, but I've never had that problem. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not so good. Hello, Dobson. Let's see everybody. Um, hello, Outdoors with Big Matt. Saw him earlier. Let's see. Did any of y'all see that I actually made like a at least an idea where I wanted to go with things tonight? Wasabi. How about wasabi? um, tonight, I don't like this camera. I just always feel like I'm right here. Can't exactly come out on it at all. Let's see. Backlash Fisherman, can you type the word drop? I would really appreciate it. If you're not familiar, anybody in my live stream can type drop. Hello, Tina Ladybug. I tried to say teeny bug. Nice to see you. Let's see here. Yes, all you got to do is type in drop, and you do not have to be a moderator to do it. Just makes it a lot smoother that way. Try not to have a bunch of over, people on top of each other, and that way we can get to know everybody, kind of share things out. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And I do leave my chats up afterwards as long as we haven't had anybody put stupid stuff in it. Then I leave it up so people can come back and be able to share and follow others. We're real big on neighbors, online neighbors, and being able to grow our community. That's the word I'm looking for. Feel like I'm in one of those TikToks. Do something like that. But um, thank you, Fish in the Dot, for picking him up like that. That's appreciated. Let's see. Says very possible. I do sometimes if you've dropped your link in somebody else's, I'll go in and then I'll start following and trying to get to know you a little bit more. But sometimes my for the people who have kind of followed along with me and with Matt, I am constantly going. So I do try to go in and watch some of the videos from everybody, but the best way for me to get to know who's who is by uh, getting to talk to people on lives. Honestly, I start learning a lot more about them. I love it when somebody else is doing a live and I'll pop in and watch them and see how they're doing. Um, get a little bit more personal, a little more intimate, if we could say that, but not in that way. Let's see here. I'm not kidding. I feel like I'm right on top of this. It's weird. Can see all my grays. I've earned each and every one of them. Ah, you're also a matte. Okay. Well, um, my okay. I think I have, but that's why I had him do drop babe. I'm gonna go back in afterwards. Actually, I think yes. Let me see here. There it is. Nope, I was not. I am now. I'm your number 59. So I'll go and check you out. Um, but no, Big Matt's my Matt. He, matter of fact, next Wednesday it will have been 14 years. So yes, we do. We do have to come on. But now that I have you here, I'll go in after the live and I'll go and look at some of your videos and put a comment, that kind of thing, just to make sure that it doesn't disappear. I don't know how many times just earlier this week, both Casty and I were both up to 91. If you don't know, Casty World's our daughter. And um, then now earlier today, I was back down to 88. So um, it just comes and goes. I'm getting where I really want to get up to 100 so that I can change the name on my account. Hello, Frontier Survival. Nice to see you. Is your lovely wife going to be joining us tonight? And see if we can get her. If nothing else, even if she just has an account to be able to pop in and stuff, I would love, especially with some of the things I'm going to be talking about tonight. I really enjoyed talking with her last night. That was nice, Heath. Um, Backlash, you dropped a catfish video today. Cool. What part of the world do you live in? I know we have a couple of Canadians, and I have no idea how to say that correctly. Been there, but it was kind of a straight through trip a couple of times. Went up the Alcan, back down, up, down. Did that a few times over my life. Let me see here. Tina Ladybug said hi. Let me see here. Eastern North Carolina. Okay, good to know. Very good to know. My aunt Ray Ray, you'll hear us refer to her quite a bit. Um, she's from Virginia, and just those Smoky Mountains is a beautiful part of the country. That's for sure. Has anybody noticed my cup? My daughter figured out right away what it is. Can anybody guess what it looks like? What's it supposed to look like? I don't know if you can see it on the screen. I have to work on some giveaways. I'm going to be starting to make candy again pretty soon with the holidays coming. We've got shows coming up, and might do some mailings of some bags of candy. Most of my stuff's in jars. Nobody can recognize it? West Virginia for work. Okay. No. Yes, she is. Ray Ray is oh, Ray Ray just is Ray Ray. She's amazing. I keep talking to her about some of the things that she says. I'm like, I have got to get you on because she goes, I don't think anybody would be interested in what I have to say. I'm like, no, she is wonderful. I told her I showed off some of her cast iron last night. Yes, exactly. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. It is a birch tree. Um, that's my middle name, and is Birch. And the same with our daughter. My daughter, mine and Matt's daughter, she Cassidy. She is the 5th generation with that for a name. So that was a big deal, which is why she has 2 middle names. Because I wasn't going to give up on it. There was no way I was going to miss the chance of putting that in this next generation. My great grandmother was the first one, and her father was a traveling salesman, and they sent him what do you call those things? A telegram. And yes, that is who Ray Ray is. She's the lady with the pintos and cornbread. Absolutely, she is. Ray, people know who you are. Hey, wait. Um, yes. birch trees are they're really, really nice. When I went up with my aunt in 2019, I actually got some strips and wanting to make some. Um, uh, I'm not exactly sure yet what I want to do with them, but I have it preserved and everything so that we can make some things. Currently, there's only 3 birches left: my aunt, myself, and my daughter. But it's a really big deal. Ray, they love you. Yep. But all right, let's see here. One of the things I wanted to talk about tonight. Oh, we've only been on for about 10 minutes. Lucky guess. Well, I FaceTimed Cassidy, and on purpose, I was standing in front of one just to see if she'd notice. And I called her. Now, my daughter, because she's always been either here in Texas or, I mean, we went over to the Smokies one time, and then she's always been in the South. And so I called her, and I was up in Delta Junction in Alaska, and she saw the tree behind me. She goes, before she even said hi, she goes, "That's a birch tree." And she was so excited because we just don't have them much here. But my aunt constantly, because it's her first name, everybody thinks she's a Mister. She's even gotten from the I don't know, the NRA. Uh, they when she's a member there, and she always gets Mr. Birch Allen, and she's like, "I'm sending you my money. You should at least know that I'm a Mrs." But she's even gotten stuff because her middle name's Ann, so she'll they'll even send Mr. Birch and Allen. This is any company. It's like, seriously, get over it. Um, it is not inherently a male name. Nobody else really has it for a first name anyway. Like, no one that I've found anywhere. Um, so, the names of some of the people that are showing up. Just wanted to talk about a few things, and I'm always interested if somebody wants to show up and chit chat. It's always, I mean, I can talk and talk and talk, but I'm, I don't know. For me, it's more interesting watching people interact with others. So there's the StreamYard link. Um, I would prefer, though, if it's not somebody we already know, like Backlash, you've already dropped your link. If it's somebody new, I want you to drop your link first so that I can have my mods double check who they are. There's been a lot of idiots out there recently, and we definitely don't want anybody messing things up for us. Let's see here. Good afternoon. Oh, whoa, what happened?
There's not any in here right now.
Right. Well, that you know of. There's 12 people, and not 12 people have necessarily started talking. Hello, Demeter. Let me see here. Some of what I'm wanting to talk about tonight is that a lot of people, because we've been pretty involved with prepper stuff, and honestly, that was way back even before they called it prepping. Hi, Malachi. Um, it was. We call it just being prepared, being smart. The things that people say are so extreme right now, as far as being a prepper and everything else. You don't have to do these things just because of the end of the world as we know it. It doesn't have to be this massive impulse or the eruption of Yellowstone or any of those things, to be prepared and to try to have things ready. Exactly. It's a way of life. It is a mindset. Being a prepper, you could have nothing, and being a prepper is still something you could be. And it's kind of what I wanted to touch base for some people. Um, Rico had a thing the other day where he was saying, "What if we were all sent back to the Stone Age?" And it's like, how would we do this? How could we do that? It's like, well, if you just do a little research, those things were being done. I mean, hopefully people won't have an issue with this, but how did women deal with their monthlies? Well, guess what? We dealt with them for a long time. The stuff on that aisle at the grocery store now is stuff that's just come out in the last 100, years. It's not, it's not rocket science. Um, but there are ways and things that people can do without having a whole bunch of stuff. You don't have to have 20 acres. You don't have to have a house with a big yard. You don't have to, you can be in an apartment. You do not have to put everything, like have a year's worth of food in a room or whatever. Those are good things if you can. Fantastic. But it gets me, it seems like sometimes in the community of being prepared. Now, most of the people here I haven't seen, everyone that I've seen in the chat that's here right now. Um, I don't think that it's a problem, but I have seen when I've been in chats before or whatever that it's like, oh, well, you don't know how to can. Well, yeah, you learn somewhere too. These are all things that are that people should know. So what I'd really like is either if somebody wants to come up on panel, which is great, absolutely love that, or if people can just put in the chat what are things that you've done. If you were to say one starter thing you would do, if you were talking to someone who was just starting on wanting to have a life where they were more prepared, then what are the things you would recommend? What would you say is the first thing they should do? So we'll do a little dun 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 dun. dun. Um, and we'll see if anyone has any ideas. I know what my first idea is, but I was going to kind of just see what people have to say. Um, and let's see here. Demeter saying hello to you, Backlash, and to Malachi. Always love it. People come in. It's kind of like the old what was that movie? Cheers. Everybody comes in. Everybody cheers. Norm. Okay. Backlash says we have to stay prepared, especially summertime in eastern North Carolina. A hurricane can knock out electricity and water 5 to 10 days. Absolutely. I used to work for FEMA as a inspector. If you had a bad experience with an inspector, please don't shoot me. I was actually in Virginia area after Isabel. I worked there. Um, but a lot of people don't realize that even FEMA can't come in right away. They usually say you have to be prepared for at least 3 to 5 days. 3 to 5 days before you can even expect to have help. Hopefully, they they get to you before that. But a lot of people don't realize how long 3 days is. I mean, when we had that freeze here back in February, down here in South Texas, people aren't used to that kind of cold. But then to have 3 days without power on top of that, even people who were normally prepared had a lot of problems. Let's see, we try to keep a week of canned foods. Yes. Medications, always keep, a week's worth handy. Camping stove, camping lights, yes, definitely a good way to start. If at all possible, going towards things that are uh, solar powered, um, things like that, stuff that's easy to regenerate. Um,
First aid kit.
First aid kit. Um, oh, okay. Why is it showing up over there faster than it is over here? I don't know. Matt's getting first sight. After Floyd in '99, the floods blocked us for 2 to 3 weeks. Had food flown in by helicopter. Yes, absolutely. Um, so what are the types of foods? Let me see here. Backlash said canned foods, canned goods. Um, what are some suggestions from people on what types of things you would have? Canned.
Candy.
Matt said candy
Keep the kids calm.
to keep the kid calm. That's what you're saying. Candy for the kids calm. We needed candy to keep the adults calm. You know, when there's a hurricane alert around here, first thing people do is they go and get beer. I mean, it's like beer and ammo. Dried beans, beef jerky. Yes, dried foods and pasta. Absolutely. With things like pasta and stuff, it's also good. Oh, okay, I see lentils. Um, when we and rice. One thing that I love, and this is part of where when I started doing my candy mason jar candies,
Sure.
um, it's right here, mason jar. You know, on the one hand, I was it's a good way to put your all of your things like cornmeal, flour, rice, dried beans, all of that kind of stuff. Put it in a jar. But I really highly recommend a vacuum sealer the with the jar attachment. You can get that for just about any of the things out there. Yes, bottle water moonshine. Moonshine is fantastic. Not only is it something you can drink, but it has medicinal purposes, right? So, but one of the big things. Hi, Sue. Thank you for joining us. One of the things that's great with the mason jars, especially if you're able to vacuum seal it, is you're going to cut down your chances of having boll weevils. Um, those kind of things can really, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if it came down to a survival situation, that's just added protein, gives a little color to the food. But some people would have an issue with that. um, One of the biggest things that I think is important, a lot of people don't think of when you're first looking at being any kind of preparedness, education. So many people think that to get started, they have to go out and they have to buy this, buy that. Like I said, mason jars, fantastic. But what happened when the pandemic started? When everything was getting shut down and all that, mason jars disappeared. They were gone, totally gone from the shelves. You couldn't find them anywhere. And, for people who are already using them for things, that was so frustrating because I couldn't find them. And I knew good and well that tons of people had bought them up and they didn't know what to do with them. They were thinking, okay, we're gonna can stuff, we're gonna put things in jars, we're gonna do all this stuff with it. They spent a whole bunch of money and they probably have them still there. As a matter of fact, my I'm just going to say family. There was some family of ours. I'm so glad that they ended up thinking of me. But a year after everything started, I was contacted and told they had 10 cases of quart-sized jars, and I got them from them, and so we'll be able to use those. But people a lot of times early on with preparedness, they put their money in things that they don't need to put their money into. They misdirect it. And then the things they actually need end up not necessarily showing up. Books, board games to keep you occupied. Yes. Um, so many people, I mean, situations like when we had hold on just a second. Well, it would help if I turned on the power strip. Okay. Um, yes. Exactly. Frontier Survival saying he couldn't get jars at their workplace either. Um, okay, Demeter, we'll see you when you get back. They were so hard to find, and the problem is, or bands and lids, right? Um, One of the things I used to sell with my candy, I sold my mason jar candies. I had different kinds of candies in different types of jars. Some were blue jars and everything else. And that way it was real easy. Honestly, when I was at a show, I could immediately tell you how many I had of different things. And for the most part, they cost about the same. So as far as my sales went, it wasn't a huge difference as far as my profit margin. But they don't even make half the ones I used to use. Now I'm down. I use a basic quart-sized jar and a pint-sized jar, wide mouth for everything. Oh, but I was saying the lid. Matter of fact, Matt, could you holler for Cassidy? I wonder if she can I wonder if she can locate what I'm gonna ask her for. If she could bring it out. The vacuum seal for the lid. Know what I'm talking about? Um, Now, if you are going to use mason jars, I definitely recommend getting a way to vacuum seal them. A lot of people already have, like your food saver or whatever. And being the nice thing about vacuum sealing jars, if it's something you don't need, this is not for meats or anything like that. If you're new to doing this, this does not preserve your food. The only thing it does, it keeps out the humidity, and so it'll keep it fresher longer for your dry goods. Um, but when we were having issues here during well, during Harvey, you were saying before, 5 to 10 days of being able to have your food, being able to take care of yourself, food, water. A lot of people do not realize you need, under normal circumstances, at least a gallon of water per person a day. Um, that's necessary. And then realize also that a gallon of water costs about weighs about 5 pounds. Thank you. Nope, this is exactly what I needed. Perfect. Thank you. This is Cassidy World. Just gonna say hi to everybody. You're watching Homestead Rescue. Cool. This is what I was talking about. And so it is not a lid. It just goes over, pops right down on top of it. And then when you're going to connect it to your food saver thing like this, and these cost about $10. So they really can be, this is helpful just for your day-to-day stuff. Now, yes, day-to-day life in general is hard. Yes, Cassidy, I agree sometimes. But Cassidy, a new friend, Backlash Fisherman, I'll send you the link later. He's saying hello. Cassidy is our daughter. Her stream is her channel. Her channel is Cassidy World. She does a lot of creativity stuff, and just to think about thinking outside the box. She has no box. Everything in her world is outside the box. That's just the only way I can describe it. Now, so one of the biggest things that people need to know is to educate yourself. Even if you don't have the things on hand that you need during a time when there's when something happens, power outage, big storm, flood. Um,
And eat healthy.
yes, Cassidy. Thank you. There's that celery.
Tell me to do this. Literally. I did this with my
Oh yes, that's my girl. That's my girl. But there's a lot of things that you can find out and learn. I mean, just randomly pick something. I decided at one point I wanted to figure out how to spin wool. So what I do, there was some people that had alpacas and got just a sampler because they sell stuff. Um, and I mean, what I did with that was I had learned how to card it and everything else, all from free YouTube stuff. Um, but a big thing is learning how to cook from scratch. Yes, get one thing at a time. You start small. But learning how to do things. If you just have a basic um, realization of learning, pot a few small plants, just so you understand the process. You understand a little more of how this works or that works. I made my own drop spinner, and I did enough to be able to know that yes, I can spin a skein of yarn. It's not terribly pretty, but it does work. I learned how to weave, do some basket weaving. Yes, exactly. It ain't pretty, Malachi, but it worked. Crochet and cross stitch. You do knit and crochet, Backlash, great. Um, Suey saying hello to Backlash. Um, Cassidy, they want celery with peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter.
Oh.
Great, now you gave her ideas. Yep.
No.
What?
Log.
Now she wants to do ants on a log. Anyway, see, this is
It's celery, peanut butter, and then raisins.
which brings us to recipes. where'd I do my drink? There we go. Um, when you're wanting to, one of the things that's not done much anymore is cooking from scratch. So many people started learning how to cook from scratch, but it gets me anytime you go out and you try to watch these recipe channels or whatever.
They leave
They've
stuff
got,
out.
well, no, they've got all the fancy stuff. A lot of people just don't know how to cook a
A
hamburger,
lot of people
like a basic hamburger. um what do you need, and knowing certain things like the difference between having a pot that's a thin walled pot and a thick walled one. There's a reason that things like cast iron and stuff does so well, is because it's so thick it tends to even out the heat. Yes, Cassidy, they said great minds think alike. um and ah Demeter would like cream cheese. Personally, I like pimento cheese on it. It's good.
It's a frog.
Oh,
It's a
we've
frog.
we've got big windows here at the back of the house, and we have tree frogs.
And geckos.
So all we see is the belly of the frog out there, kind of like the belly of the whale, but different.
And I see a cat butt.
Um, Now, Ray, what are things? Because you and I were talking about this earlier. She's probably going to stick over there. She's making her coffee for the evening.
Oh wait, no, not
Um, oh, you're having a Sprite? Okay. So what were you saying? What are things that you think people should learn early on? If you're starting to learn how to take care of yourself.
You have to learn how to be
self-sufficient. If you're gonna go, and say there's nothing around to eat meat to buy at the store, my first advice to you is to give you chickens.
Yes. Oh, that's right. She was mentioning that earlier.
And then also the ability that you're going to have to kill it to have meat.
Yes. They said fishing the dot Ray said that now everybody's minds are stuck on food and backlash. Said, ribbit, ribbit. Yes. Um, but right, you need to know. You need to know where to start and just be willing. So one of the biggest things is be willing to make mistakes. Put your hands in something, try it. It may not come out well. That first few times I tried spinning the wool. Oh,
Oh yeah.
Big Matt wants you to know I'm not allowing him to have rabbits anymore.
We used
Um,
to have rabbits, and I named one Star.
You name like 6 of them Star.
No.
Yes.
And that's when they have to live on the clothesline to dry.
Yes.
Thank you, Backlash.
Um, but
Have batteries, socks, shorts, pair of jeans, and other
Yep.
socks,
Ray had another good point. Doing something like just being able to hang your wash out. You know, a lot of people just being able to think through problems. If you know how to do these things, then when a problem comes up, you're going to be better at doing the workaround. And if you don't know what's possible, then you're kind of stuck in this vacuum. And not this vacuum, this vacuum. And
Not vacuum yet.
yes, bunnies are tasty. Hello, Raymond. Nice to. No, I got to tell you a story on Cassidy. She was about 4 years old, I guess, and we had rabbits. And she had this, she had this rabbit in her lap, and she was petting it, and she was singing to it, and th- she was petting it and she was singing it, and she's like, "You're so soft and you're so pretty and you're gonna be so tasty. You're gonna taste delicious." And I'm not sure whether to be pleased or frightened at this point, but yes. Then skip forward multiple years, and my daughter was eating bacon and was crying, saying, "I'm sorry, I'm a murderer." So she eats bacon though. She does. But she is definitely she wears her heart on her sleeve. Let's see here. Cassidy Demeter said, "Tell Cassidy's World so my 12-year-old can check her out."
Broke my heart so much that I'm paranoid.
Oh, you need the link for Cassidy World. Matt, can you do that real quick?
It's already there.
Oh, thank you. That was Jen's Travels. I'm I'm not seeing it right on. Cassie, you do. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not after 10. You can get on and drop your link, baby. Let's see. Backlash said to Raymond that he's already subscribed. Big Matt. I forget some more. That's okay. I forget whole sentences. I'll be like halfway there and
What's up,
just
Raymond?
go sideways and get completely lost. 12 after 11 where you're at. All right. Yeah, we're only just after 9.
Yeah, put up momos.
You put up moms also. Yeah, for those who are aware from other conversations, Momo is still up in Dallas with her sister who had a double mastectomy today, and she did come through the surgery good. Well, hello, Judy May. But my aunt, she came through her surgeries well, and she's already been released and has gone home. And her kids are all visiting there. And last I saw, when my dad called, he showed me they were at the campsite with her son and his wife, and they were or was it
Probably already told me. 'Cause he's
actually? I think it was I think he said Sissy. I think it was her daughter. And they had a really nice um, instead of charcoal, I can't remember what he said. They had a fire, but some places they can't have an open flame the same way. So they had pumice stone, I think, lava stone. Thank you very much, Backlash. This is the well, my grandmother had a single mastectomy. Should have had a double because it came back, and that's how we lost her. And then my mom's had a double, and so has now my aunt, and then Ray about 5 years ago. So thank you for picking up Matthew. Matthew Kraft, my son. He's still kind of figuring out. Yeah, it's not easy to pick him up. He's she actually is making those ants on a log now. Just letting y'all know. Um, but anyway, we really, really appreciate the prayers. We're a family that very much believes that prayer is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Prayer works, definitely. Oh, your mom had a double. It's it's something because. Oh, not now. You think I'm distractible? She's wanting to show. This is.
We got cotton candy.
And it has a glove in it.
Oh, an
Where'd
entire
it go?
glove.
You can't really see it right now. It's moved. Okay, Cassidy, we're talking about. All right. Anyway, sorry. Thank you.
And cotton candy manufacturers, make
I'm gonna
sure that your employees have both of their gloves at the end of the day.
Yes.
Because I've seen other pictures of that.
Can y'all hear her in the background? I need to know. Can y'all hear her? Celery, peanut butter, and raisin. Absolutely. That's what it is. I really, we need to get, she has what's called chemo. Oh, yes. I'm sorry to hear that. We will keep her in prayers because I believe that that's something that can still be healed. Backlash's mother had a double mastectomy from cancer, but she still had to do chemo, and it caused damage in her brain. So she's having to deal with that now. My sister had chemo. She had cervical cancer.
I hope she
and she had,
everything perfectly.
Yep, we can pray on that.
Oh yeah, and a heartwarming fact about cancer is that it is actually beatable if you're a little child too.
Oh,
I
okay.
was scrolling through Pinterest, and there was this little boy who was still in pre-K, and he beat cancer.
That's wonderful. We have a friend of ours that he's had, I think his first time run-in with cancer, he was 5. He's now dealt with it 4 times. So he's very much a major miracle. I don't know of anybody else who's fought it that many times. Okay. Matt points at my phone. I give it to him. But anyway, I put the thing up again if anybody wants to join in. What are some other things people have found? A minute. Raymond's cousin had blood cancer at a young age. That's such a hard. It's so hard to think of. Were you? Wait. Yeah, my mom was a NICU. Wow, I didn't know that, Malachi. Malachi said both of her parents passed away from cancer, and Backlash's daughter and is medically disabled due to a genetic defect. See, this is something a lot of people also don't really consider. When we talk about something like prepping. Everybody's thinking, like I said, of these huge things, but sometimes, yeah. Guess who that is? The man, the myth, the legend.
I gave some people wrenches. So if any trolls show up,
I don't know why there's been such a bad issue with trolls. I don't understand what they get from it. But anyway, sometimes being prepared is just dealing with something like just a your life changes. I mean, none of us really had a fair warning when something like a major illness is going to happen. When let's see here, Fishing the Dot says my brother had a heart transplant last year. Before the transplant, he had an IV, and it's insane what the body can go through and heal. Yes. Raymond said that's scary, and Backlash is excited he has a wrench. He says he got a promotion. Nice.
keep it clean, Backlash.
Anyway, but uh but certain things, like for example, when Matt and I met, my background was computers, business management. I mean, he worked hard and made decent money, but it was seasonal because he did all kinds of outdoors work. He worked on fence. He worked on using big equipment and things like that. So if it rained, he didn't really have income. And when you're single, that's not such a big deal. But with a family on the way, that became an issue. And I never would have guessed that when I got pregnant with my daughter, that some of my health problems were going to get much, much worse. And I wasn't able to work. And suddenly we went from me doing, Willie's been hiding. So I haven't seen him, but I have heard that he's around.
Oh, he's there.
Hello, Leo and Irene. I always see Leo and Irene, but I really only see Irene.
That's way too bright.
Oh,
Yeah,
you gotta
turn your
watch
brightness
her
down.
class. Her brother comes in there once in a
Oh,
while.
really? Okay. I've caught some. Big hands and little cell phones don't mesh. Yes, it's called. What are you showing them on my stream?
Fighting chick.
Fighting mad chick,
Basically-
kicking cancer's butt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For
Basi-
pancreatic cancer.
or even for
Thank you, Malachi. I would really appreciate it. Let's see. I'm going to double check a little bit, make sure I haven't. Okay, and Backlash says we found out my wife was pregnant in 2017, and then found out August 10th, the next day, she was 6.5 months. My daughter was born 8 weeks early by C-section. Wow. Yes. You see, it's amazing how quickly things just totally change. My aunt and my uncle, they'd been married for 56 years. They were moving from Washington back up to Alaska, and everything was planned out good. And I was supposed to go up and help them take their things back from Washington back up. And overnight, my uncle passed away. Just boom, like that. And it took a year for my aunt to even know how much income she was going to have. These are things that it doesn't, prepping for an emergency does not necessarily mean it's an emergency for everyone else. Um, so Backlash, yes, with it being just 5 weeks after you found out she was, yes. We have a niece that was one of those who didn't know she was pregnant until she was in labor. And I got to tell you, I know that some people may say that, oh, that can't happen. Yes, it can. You said your wife was already 6.5 months pregnant before you knew. Was that your first child? Um, uh, yes, people, if you haven't in a little while, go ahead and type drop to get your link dropped. And if it takes a minute, go ahead and do it again a little bit later. If everybody does it at once, it gets overwhelmed. It only does the first one. But anyway, with my niece, she had no idea she was pregnant. She was in high school still. She was playing volleyball. We have pictures of her just a month and a half before she gave birth, and her son was full term. A month and a half before she gave birth, and it's a picture of her with her elbow on her knee, kind of those classic kids. Uh, it's one of those all kids in school, for different sports things, they do it. And okay, all right. Just a second. I'm finding add moderator. Gotcha, sweetie. But he there was no way any of us would have thought she was pregnant, and it was her first pregnancy, and she was young, and she didn't notice the changes, so it just happens. Oh, Jessica, hi, nice to see you. I'm sorry you can't stay very long, but thank you for popping in. If has IBS and medical issues, it's so easy to
Ginger came up front
I love you.
because Boo and Mocha stole his food, so River had me give him.
These are all
food.
cats. These are all
Yep.
cats.
Although
Anyway.
we do have a dog and a cat named Buddy, so it's kind of confusing time to
They're in
time.
2 different households, though.
Yes.
But anyway, but so she had no idea. A life change can just all of a sudden you are looking at doing things like eating out of your freezer, all those things, all these things, the little things we've talked about, just being able to store some of your different foods. Absolutely, Demeter, anytime. But these are things that we need to watch for. I think we've kind of gotten past some of that. I need a new subject, people. Come on, throw something up. Anything up. Deleter? Think that was supposed to be Demeter. Thank you, thank you. I always appreciate when I see that people are that dropping those links is helpful, and that we can all kind of get together and build together. Let me see. Now, when I was talking about skills, things like Jessica's Jumpster Girls, things like that, just learning how to repurpose stuff. One of the things when we had the freeze here, we were prepared for cold a lot more than a lot of people around us, because we have lived in places. I mean, Matt's always lived here, but he's also used to a lot of outdoor stuff and everything. So, and going hunting, he still would have cold weather gear for that. But we've lived in Alaska, and Ray growing up in the mountains in Virginia and things, we were prepared. We've lived in Germany. We know how to deal with the ice and all of that kind of thing. But what we weren't planning on was 3 days without power. And where that became a thing, we consider the situation of dealing with no power during the summer. Here in Texas, you know how to make if you can even um, uh, when they had all that heat going on over in Washington and Oregon um, just recently, they weren't used to having such hot days. And I was telling some friends of mine, this is how you make an at-home swamp cooler. This is how you can cool things down, because their houses aren't built for it. And that's something a lot of people don't realize. The North isn't built for heat, and down here in the South, the places aren't built for cold. And we, in our house, well, in my parents' house, the bathroom is the most center room in the entire house. The water in the toilets froze. That's how cold it was. The water in the toilets froze. And at that point, I mean, we know how to bucket flush, during normal times of losing power or whatever, because we're on well water. Um, we could we can get around that. You know how to do these things. But no, we did get things taken care of. We know how to do things like turn the bucket flusher into a bucket toilet. Um, but if you don't know these things, if you don't know these basic concepts of how to deal with these situations, try it out. Don't just watch a video and say, oh, okay, I know how to cook chicken. Actually cook it. Get one raw and cook it all the way through. That I know is fairly basic. Most people should know how to do that. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know the difference between how to cook something that's thick and something that's thinner. That something that's thicker, it's going to have to be a lower temperature and it's going to be a longer period of time, that kind of thing. But being able to, playing games. I think Malachi 7 said something about that earlier, having board games and stuff like that on hand. There's things, I don't know, there's only so many different ways I can say that. I think we've kind of killed it. Let's name some other things that are, y'all earlier said some really good things to start with of what to invest in the way of like foods to keep on hand and stuff. What are different skills that you think people really need that they don't, that's not really talked about? Like if you had one skill that you would recommend to people to be able to have, what would it be? There's Cassidy World. Hello. I see that.
Didn't notice me.
Well, it's not going to notice. Nightbot can't notice you until you say something. To my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, it sounded like you said hurt
But
me if I'm wrong.
no. For anyone who's, what is the most useful bit of thing that you have learned that has helped you out in situations when everything's gone left, so to speak? When you've run into a situation, whether you're in the country or just up home, downriver. Downriver, hi. Malachi just picked up your channel, Cassidy.
Trying to check their...
Did you just snag my M&Ms?
How did you not know?
Girl! Those are my birthday present.
My hand is small.
Yes, I know. Anyway.
No.
No.
You told me
That's
to come into
funny.
the screen.
When your whole family's online and you can time out your kids. But fire structure buildings. Okay. Hi, Shogun. Thank you for showing up. Enjoy seeing you. How to start a fire without matches. Okay. Now, what if you're I've always thought about that. Backlash said that he's blind enough he could use his glasses. Only one time do I remember watching on Survivor where someone actually used their glasses. I'm like, seriously, what person with glasses of any strength at all has not tried to start a fire with their glasses? Oh, maybe I'm just weird that way. All right, that would be, put a little bit of water in the lens. It'll help focus it. You can start some major fires that way. Matt Shogun says hi. Okay. Geology, yes. Plant ID. One of the, when we switched over to doing homeschooling, and actually with my kids, with my nieces, before they were because only one of them ended up homeschooled. We have here both. Some people call it soldier weed. Um, Native Americans used to call it white man's weed, and uh, it it's plantain, but it's not like
Mom,
the oversized bananas. It looks a lot like dandelion.
Mom.
Yes, Cassidy.
How about since your dad is in the chat, why don't you talk about him for a while?
Okay. Is he
Talk
there?
about how he's in the army.
Okay, I don't see him there, Cassidy. He hasn't said anything.
He's not.
Mm-mm.
He's
Anyway.
probably trying to figure out how to put something in the chat.
He knows how, Cassidy. Sorry about that. You completely distracted me. I'm gonna start calling you Squirrel. Somebody help me out. What was I talking about? Yes, growing your own food is a good idea. Water bottle works. Yes. Things like you can take a bottle of water, if you leave it, if need be. Actually, if you're in an emergency situation and you're not, and this is someone who's actually watching this stream because they are trying to find ways to deal with emergency situations and you haven't done much, 5 drops of bleach in a gallon of water. Leave it in there for at least half an hour to an hour, and that will help clean out your. Oh yes, weed. Thank you. That kind of weed, but yes, weed. Where's Dobson? Anyway, no. With yes, I know. Yes, that's what I was talking about. Weed. We have, but the plantain weed and the dandelion look very much alike. But with the plantain, it was used. The reason why they called it soldier's weed is because if you crush up those leaves, it can help with clotting factors. So you can put it on a wound, and it can help with clotting. But they look a lot alike. So one of the first things I taught my kids is how to tell the difference between them. They're both good plants to have and to be able to recognize, but there are definite differences, and so they had to be able to show me in each season what they look like, and then which one was which. So, so there's a lot of real simple things. Are you laughing at me? I'm laughable sometimes, so that's fine. Instrument for entertainment. Here's a good instrument. Casty, please stop. Oh, I talked before. I talked before about my mom. A few of y'all would remember, like Malachi knows the songs I've sang of my mom's, the songs my mom wrote. And I found, because way back a little while ago, I'm probably going to look kind of odd right now. I'm looking around my screen. Matt, you're going to have to watch the chat for me good right now, because I am looking for all the way back. It's been a little while. September. Seriously. I'm trying to go albums, tags. Ooh, way back. How does it not? Back. I have a video actually of mom singing one of her songs and playing her auto harp. And that's a big thing that people don't realize is I find it interesting because you were also the one that talked about the board games and stuff. Being able to do something with your brain. Dueling banjos. And that was Matthew Kraft. But you have to my 31st high school reunion was recently, and it was supposed to be the 30 year was last year, and it of course was canceled. And one of my friends tagged me saying, if I was going to be able to come, and I was like, nope, we got too much going on and everything else. And I said, but if anybody's wondering, I'm gray, I'm fat, and I'm blessed.
You're not fat. You're
Cuddleable. No, sweetie.
Yes,
Jessica says, good night, everyone. Going to bed and dumpster diving tomorrow morning. Cool. I look forward to seeing what you find. But yes, kids are funny. Funny looking. No. All right, Matthew. It's the evening when everybody's gotten fluffy. That's a good term. My son's fluffy. Matthew, don't. He just accidentally smacked his sister in the head.
He loves pushing my
I
butt.
do love them. And honestly,
I'm his
um,
controller.
I
I don't own a controller.
boy,
I'm your
I
meaning that you
didn't.
might push my
I was 35 years old when Matt and I met. I always wanted kids, but I wanted to be married first, and I got Matt and I met when I was 35, and we got married within 3 months. Got pregnant on the honeymoon, and as I said before, next Wednesday is going to be 14 years for us. So I wanted these kids for a long time. Sometimes they might drive me nuts, but I still love them.
Sometimes they drive you insane.
Yes, they are a scream.
Literally.
Literally. Let's see. Yes, Judy May. Being able to smoke and preserve meat. Um, check out Gabriel Iglesias. All right. Um, but the best tool you have towards preparation is this right here. And no matter what the situation is, I mean, even if something happens, God forbid, you lose your job and you lose your house, you could say have books, whatever. All that can go away. So the best thing you can ever do is educate yourself. Shogun said that he loves his mother too, Cassidy. Um, but the stages of Fluffy. Are you going to tell us the stages of Fluffy?
Fluffy, floofy, poofy, mega poof. And then
Did y'all hear that? August 9th this year, we're 13 years married and 15 years together for me and my wife.
wait, but I'm 13.
Yes, they got married 13 years ago. For them, Cassidy,
Oh.
she thinks she just caught us on something. No,
The
definitely
stages
stay
of
positive.
the
All right, you're
sta-
screaming, baby.
sorry. The stages of floof is floof, poof. Oh wait, I said it wrong.
You got mixed up, didn't you?
Yep. Fluff, floof, poof, mega poof.
Okay.
And then mega poof.
All right, Malachi, you've been married for 11 years. Let's see. Yes, you need to know how to get the meat before you can preserve it, but actually you don't. The reason why I say that is that yes, that is a very important skill, and you need to know how to do that as far as going out and taking down, harvesting an animal, however you want to phrase it. That is an important skill to know. And if nothing else, get a license, go out with a friend, and learn how to do it. But you do need to learn how to you're more likely, let's put it this way, you're more likely going to be able to go to the store, buy the meat, and learn how to preserve it before you're going to be able to find someone who's going to take you hunting, getting the license, getting the weapon, doing everything you need to be able to move forward with that. So it's part of the process, but I do think that and that's part of where I'm saying that a lot of people think they need to know how to do all of it. And there's little things. I mean, yes, there's never a dull moment here at all. But why does it? Oh, it's Cassidy's phone I keep hearing. I'm like, I keep turning mine down over here so we don't end up with an echo. But we had you stop hunting and fish all the time. Yes. Fish is a lot easier to Roots and shoots. Yep. Being able to gather. And the thing with this is also learning how to do it in multiple seasons. A lot of people, you know, think about harvest seasons, but if a problem happens and it's like
Ants on a log.
March
Just
and you
the
didn't already have it, go.
Look.
Yes, I see, baby. And you even have them color coordinated. Is that a 3-2-1 pattern? Yep.
I didn't even try to do this.
Anyway,
I didn't even try to do that.
the fishing, you get more meat and faster. Depends on what's available in your area. Here we've got so much hog. We've got so many hogs. It's and a lot of people, you have to figure out what are you capable of doing. And here's a huge thing: bartering. Learning how to figure out who has what skills around you. You know, we were writing them down one day as far as here on the property.
You're good skills for a while.
For a while. Here on our property, we have so many different types of so many different skills here on the property. They say your food looks yummy.
It is.
Could you please turn yours down some or put on headphones? Anyway, hogs. Yes, we have lots and lots and lots and lots of hogs. But you can work with someone else. If someone, if you know somebody nearby that has chickens or something like that, go talk to them. Ask them if you can help out when they're harvesting the next time. And that's one of the biggest things you can do is community. You need to build a community of knowing what, I mean, you can look at it bluntly, knowing what skills and stuff people have, but you may be surprised. Some of your friends that maybe, you know them from, uh, you know, I don't know, neighbors. We'll just say your regular neighbors. They may have interests and skills that you don't even realize. And in a situation, they could be helpful. Like, we're going kind of back and forth, but there's situations of there, there are circumstances that are personal, where you need to have things have things prepared. But there are also circumstances that are that broader, like when we had a hurricane or something like that. Knowing who has what around you, who's capable of doing stuff. Remember when I lived down in Puerto Rico, friends would come over. I rented a house. So I didn't have the okay to do a bunch of stuff there. I couldn't prep, but I was able to do kind of like what was talked about way early on in here. I had canned goods. I had things set up and aside. I always have a good first aid kit. Um, Things like that. I keep that stuff on hand all the time, no matter where I'm at. When I had a diaper bag, I had a first aid kit. It just, you just have that. Well, people would come over. They'd come over just for dinner or whatever. And so many times, even locals, they'd say, "Oh, if we have a bad storm, I know where I'm coming." All right. Well, wait a minute. What are you bringing?
Everything.
That's the thing is if everyone has the capability to start preparing, to start learning. Um, uh, right. The best thing you can do. Let me see. Oh, okay. Malachi said, I'm hoping to do a show to teach canning. I've never done it. Right. And did you know that one of the best ways to learn something is to teach it? If you go in and learn it well enough that you can teach it, then you're going to have that knowledge more ingrained. And in the process, you're going to practice it out. You're a volunteer fireman.
When there's a fire in the nest.
Cassidy.
I'm sorry.
That's about enough now. I'm a volunteer fireman. I got plenty of first aid supplies available. Absolutely. When
Tell back next to come on, and when he comes, tell him to bring some fire hose.
Okay. Matt wants some fire hose.
No, he says he's got plenty of first aid.
Oh, okay.
But if he comes, just make sure he brings plenty of fire.
Okay.
And also Dalmatians. So we
we
can
have
reenact 101 Dalmatians.
okay. Exactly. What are you bringing? Now, if there's children and I'm not gonna leave a kid on the street or whatever, and I'm gonna do my best to help everyone I can, but
I get it from her.
I can't take care of everyone. I can't supply for everyone, and it's all of our responsibility. Um, um, let's see, Nunya, Texas in the back 20. Okay, I'll look at that one. Ah, Miss Kim. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
How are
How are you?
you, Mills? So you have some ideas you want to pitch in for me?
Well, Miss Malachi said that she was hoping that I could do a little bit of video of my canning. I told her I'm still
Mhm.
learning how to do canning too, but I'm willing to share what I can. You know, um, I'm still learning it because it's been a while. I haven't done any of that stuff since my grandparents,
Oh,
my
okay. So
mom.
it's been a while. You know
Yeah,
that.
but
Go ahead.
But I've been doing some canning. I got with some of the preppers in the community and stuff, and they taught me a few things. So,
All right.
um,
I tell you, if you're able to get those things, supplies on hands to be able to do it. The main thing
mm,
is realizing that there's a big difference between water canning for things with, like, for example, your jams and jellies, things like that, and canning something like meats, because that has to be at a higher pressure for a longer
mhm,
period of time.
right,
And a lot of times with your jams and jellies, it's more sealed than anything else. Yes, it does have a bit of a preservative, but the thing is because of what's in it, literally preserves. It's going to last longer on its own, but you're getting all that air out and you're sealing it. But with a meat, you need to make sure you have all that possibility of, botulism, things like that. So one of the
yeah,
first things with canning is knowing the differences of pressures, and uh, making sure that the canner you have actually you can differentiate between 5, 10, and 15 pounds of pressure. So
right,
that makes it, boy, when I realized, because Matt likes he doesn't care for tuna fish, but
mm,
he likes chicken for, like, chicken salads and things like that. And a can, that big, a can of canned chicken, you're looking at like $5, 4 or
yeah,
$5,
yeah,
where you can get 10 pounds of chicken quarters for
mm,
$6 or $7. Now, this is here in this area of Texas, South Texas. I don't know, people all over the world. I'm sure you have different amounts for that. But
yeah.
you know how many jars you can get of chicken from that 10 pounds? You can get quite a bit,
Well, I know
and
I did
comes out so
10
much
pounds.
cheaper.
I did 10 pounds of chicken breast, and I got 10 quart jars. So it's like a pound
Right,
per jar.
right,
So, and then I did 10 pounds of ground beef, which also gave me about 11 quart jars. And
right.
that's about a pound a piece. So,
Now,
um,
do you season your meats when you start when you can them?
no,
You
no, because
don't?
I don't know what I might use them for.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so, if I'm going to make like a chicken casserole, my
Mhm.
kids, my daughter likes a certain type of flavor with it. So as long as I got my dry herbs and stuff to put in it when I'm
Right,
cooking it, I'm good to
right,
go. So,
right.
and I try to grow herbs on my back deck because
I
I
love
live in an
growing herbs.
apartment. So,
Right. Exactly. That's part of what is that there are some things you can do in an apartment, but there's a lot of things people consider. I mean, you can't exactly string up a deer in your living room when you live in an apartment. So there's steps of what you can do, and it's knowing what you can where you're at and what things you really just need to have the knowledge of. Let's see here. Raymond said, I looked a few days ago. 4 chicken breasts was about $15. Now I'm trying to remember. Let me see here. Best tuna ever had. I caught and ate immediately on the boat as sushi. Best sushi I ever had. Absolutely. Malachi's hungry now.
Well,
I
she would be
see. I have
upset with me if I told her what I snacked on because I heated it up in my little sandwich maker.
Matt does that a lot. We've got one of those sandwich makers, and he cooks a lot of stuff in that. I will. Okay, Canada. See, I'll agree with that statement. There's nothing better than fresh tuna on the boat. Yes. Ryan Williams. Good morning, Vietnam. That was a great movie. Hello from UK. Can't sleep. Well, we always enjoy having you along, Ryan.
I can't sleep either, ever.
I know, Cassidy.
Yay.
Turkey is even worse. Oh, price wise, yes, absolutely. But with
If you think turkey's price is bad, just take a look at the craft supplies.
okay, Cassidy just took a wide left turn. We're gonna let her. She'll come back around eventually. I promise she will. This is our life here. A lot of people. This is just who we are. This is how it is. 24/7. The prices on some things are just crazy.
Mhm.
And now you do have the different prices for things in different areas. Like for here, bananas aren't that expensive. But I know that when Ray lived down in Australia, and I've heard from uh, other friends that we call what family,
Mhm.
friends that are now family that live down there. And I mean, here we've got 49 cents a pound for bananas. Down there, they're looking at like $4.90 or 49. I mean, some of it's like crazy expensive. Um,
Yeah.
so you do have to look at what's available in your area that it's easier to get, that you can make a um, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? What you can utilize
Mhm.
to have. Now, do you have like stored things anywhere, like foods and things that you've stored? Since you said you live in an apartment,
Mhm.
so you do have
Actually,
some things.
after my oldest daughter got married in February, but we just recently got her moved to South Carolina. It got set back because of the C-19, and
Mm-hmm.
then it got set back because of the car accident.
Right.
Uh, so we just got her moved down there. Let's see, around the last of August, I believe it was.
Right.
And so I had enough supplies here to where I could send her off with stuff to fill up her little apartment cabinet because it's just a small micro apartment
Right.
um, for her and her husband to begin in. And it filled everything that I gave her. Plus, I went out and bought her about $200 worth of stuff to put in their refrigerator and stuff. So they're still. I told them don't let it get too low. Go back and replenish because you don't know when it's going to come hard for you to get things. So kind of stay stocked up on it, and they're
Right.
able to go to the military base and get things. So it helps them out.
Oh, that's good.
And she
Yeah, I
was up
grew up on
here.
military bases.
She just came past. They went to see his family in Kansas City this past weekend. So they stopped by and I gave her some more stuff to take with her. So, but I turned her room into my new storage room and I bought
That
shelves and stuff to put in there.
right.
So,
And when you can do that, that is a good thing to do. If you've got that spare room. My one of my aunt and uncle, they have a spare room that
mhm,
has a spare bed and everything, but all around the walls around that room is where they have shelves and they have things set up. So they still have a spare room, but they've done what they can to still be able to have a back stock of stuff. I was looking over here in the just bringing up bananas and being able to look and see what they are in different areas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see how far back that went. Um, let's see. I saw 59 cents. I saw um, 89 cents. Raymond Williams said. Um, and then Ryan is still getting a lot of problems from trolls. I do not understand some of these people why they think it's funny to go and do that. But anyway, Malachi said I lived in South Wales for a year. My brother met his wife. Um, she is Welsh. I'm in Northern Ireland. Oh, some of them are kind of comparing notes of where they live at. Shogun says I will eat whatever is edible. Onions and sea urchin are the only things I cannot eat.
I
Onions is he's not in America, baby.
Well, and eggshells.
Uh, um, let's see here. Sea urchin. You see, I've never tried sea urchin. I've eaten octopus. I've eaten um a lot of things that people there's a lot of things plus a few things that people would not consider normal. But I grew up overseas and I grew up, you know, trying things. Um Thank you, Ryan. I was actually kind of thinking about that. Just was reading that. He's recommending using two-step verification. Malachi said she lived in South Wales for a year. My brother met. Okay, I already read that. Um, for me, it's the craziest thing. Coffee. I cannot drink coffee.
I don't drink
I'm
coffee.
sorry. I will drink. I will drink. Go find me some dandelion weeds and put it in hot water. I don't anything else. You look at me. Coffee. If my mom one time, I don't think initially, I don't think she was trying to trick me, but when she realized what was about to happen, she didn't stop me either. We were, we were at the store and she had gotten some mocha drink or whatever from Starbucks. And she said, as she goes, "Oh, taste this. It just tastes like chocolate." And I was in a rush. I normally am. Usually the fastest way I make a mistake is being in too much of a hurry. And I, I reached back, it went over and sucked on that straw just as she said, "You can hardly taste the coffee." I look like a cat with a hairball. I'm just, it was horrible. Oh man. I had to, I didn't have a lot of money at the time and I still had to buy food and something to drink to scrape the inside. I don't know. I've tried it as, I've tried it as candy. I've tried when I lived in Puerto Rico, a friend of mine's family had a coffee farm.
Mm.
So I've literally stood in one of those places where they grind it with the big wheel and had some of theirs prepared by the person who picked it and roasted it. Nope, can't do it. Can't do it.
I never
I
could
can make
get
it good.
past the smell of it. I can make it for people, but I can't drink
Yep.
it.
Same here. I can make it for people. Smelling it, sometimes it even smells good. It's like going into a tobacco shop sometimes, and it just has that great smell to it. And anyway, and I used to smoke for a bit, but I've never been able to handle. I've never been able to handle old smoke smell.
Mhm.
And then, even though I used to smoke when I was pregnant with Cassidy, I was about 3 months pregnant, and I still had like one cigarette a day. I just could not seem to break that last one. And the doctor told me that it was better for me if I was frustrated or whatever to have that one cigarette than to cause all that stress on the baby.
Mhm.
So one night, Matt and I got in this huge argument, and he goes, "I'm gonna go outside and have a cigarette." And I said, "So am I." I get all feisty, and I go out after him. I lit up. I was so sick. I threw up for hours. Well, Cassidy's 13 now, so I haven't smoked in almost 14 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes. Oh, I can't. I'm talking about just regular smoke. I'm talking about Camels, Marlboros, things like that.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You were talking about bartering. I bought bags of piping tobacco and
Right.
cigarette papers and matches.
Yes, I learned how to do that.
No, and I took the Mylar bags, and I
Right.
have some small ones because one of my daughters ordered me 100 Mylar bags, but they were the
Wow.
small ones.
Right.
So
Well, they're great for
what I
seeds
done was
and a lot of other stuff.
I cut them in half, and I put the cigarette papers and matches in there
Mhm.
and sealed it. And then in a little bit bigger bag, I stuffed it with tobacco and put the cigarette papers and the matches
Right.
in there to use for bartering in case need to later on
Right.
down the road.
You see, and that's one of those things. I learned how to. I know how to roll them, and
Mhm.
and I've even used one of those machines. Some people we know have a machine that even has the filters, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
will compress it and do it that way. And I mean, it's like I've also used one of those. It's actually very similar to be able to take uh, shotgun shells and be able to
mhm,
pack those, things like
yeah,
that. To the machine that compresses them and all that.
right.
Let's see here. Um, Somebody brought up raw oysters. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to. I tried them here in Texas, did not like them at all, and then tried them in Louisiana, couldn't handle them. Went to Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, yum, whole different. It seems like a different animal, but it's not. Here in this part of the Gulf Coast, it's very silty. The we don't have that nice, pretty white sand here. We've got brown, murky.
Mhm.
Ugh. It's actually got a lot of minerals in it that's very healthy for our clams and everything else in this area, the fish.
Yeah.
But it doesn't taste very good. So, let me see here. Um, Malachi, your spelling is fine. I realize that's way back, but I'm trying to actually go back through and see if we've missed anything. Fishing the Dot hasn't used caffeine for 7 years because my thing is just the taste. Caffeine's actually really good for you if you have ADHD. Caffeine helps you focus. Um, Fried is the best way for oysters. I don't like them that way. Oh, that's my husband that said that. I was just about to say Matt likes them that way. I don't. Um, Shogun says that Matt can have his onions and then he'll eat Matt's oysters. That works. We're gonna pretend that there is no funny parts to that.
I want to thank Matt again last night for him popping into my chat. I had Miss Malachi and I were in there talking, and
Yes.
and oh, that really irked me. The comment that the person kept putting in there, and I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
man, all my monitors are asleep.
Yep.
So,
No.
but
And
I let
Matt
them know
Matt lives for that. He wants. Mhm.
I'm not going to put
He
up.
used to be a bouncer. Does that surprise you?
Well, I wasn't a bouncer, but I did like to drink in the clubs and stuff. And a lot of the
Right.
bar owners and stuff told people, you see that lady over there? Don't do nothing stupid because she will put you out of the bar. So
Yep.
I'm just telling you, I
Let's see
cannot
here.
stand to see a man put his hands on a woman. I
Right.
can't.
Yeah.
That flies all over.
Someone very, very special to me spent the first her entire 17 years of her first marriage was abusive. All right,
No,
Matt.
I was telling Miss Malachi last night on my channel that I've been mentally, physically. Hi, Matt. Thank you so much.
Yep. Oh, is he in here now?
Uh,
All right. If you
I
see HFH Joe, there he is. That's my daddy.
oh, okay.
All right. He's saying he likes his fried. Oh, okay.
Miss
Why is
Malachi,
it not
thank you
showing that
last
he's
night
a?
for staying on there with
Oh,
me
you
so
just gave
long
it to him?
last
Okay.
night.
Yes. He loves to make sure that things are uh safe. I tell you, the first time, I think it was my first live stream, and um Willie's wife Maria, she and I were chatting and everything, and then she goes, "By the way, I don't think that's something you want," so I went ahead and I hid that comment. I'm like, "Huh?" Because it's hard for me to, even though I'm easily distractible.
Mhm.
Sometimes I can multitask, but when I'm having a conversation, it's more difficult for me to keep track of what's going on. That's why I intentionally stop sometimes and go back through it. And
Yeah.
somebody had posted this comment that was full of every four-letter word you could think of. No, that's not something okay. It's not
Yeah.
it's not anything of what we're here about here. I mean, I've said in the past that cuss words, I mean, if somebody uses them, okay. I don't have it. And even Christians or whatever, I don't think it's something that's going to make you burn in hell, but it's rude and crude and unnecessary a lot of times.
Right.
And that type of thing is just intentionally abusive.
Yeah.
By being verbally abusive, that is abusive. And somebody using words like that, especially in a environment that is supposed to be a family oriented situation, like here,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
whatever, that's not the place for it. You know. Um, Hello, rambling with the brooms. See, I know how to say that. I don't know. Did he say drop?
Yes, Miss Malachi. Dusty did get us good last night. He sure did. He said, "Smile, ladies." Did you did you save the video clip? I did.
Let me see. How did make rumbling? All right. Malachi does not like oysters.
Don't like
Let me
oysters
see
either.
here. Dad said fried. It's the HFH jote. That's Henry Frank Nats. That's my daddy, and it's Jack of all trades. That's what that jote stands for. Um, hey, Dad, type in drop again, please. Matt's trying to see if he can figure out what's going on with that. And if it doesn't work, Matt, if you can go get it and drop it, that would be great. Um,
That's what I say. I am a female jack of all trades, but a master of
yep,
none because I've done a
yep.
little bit of
Was it?
everything.
I think Nanny used to say she was my dad's mom said that she was like a Jane of all trades or something like that. Well, she definitely, when my dad's parents very much instilled in all of us. I didn't. I kind of knew this, but when I went and was helping my aunt go through all of their stuff, and a lot of it was things that she had inherited from my grandmother, and all of her things she had that was um, not so much prepper as like me, she was interested in so many different things. And
Right.
and education was a big thing. But like, we homeschool our kids, and somebody was asking me today, a good friend of mine, because her first child she homeschooled was very much about structure, and
Hmm.
that worked great for her. But her second child that she's or daughter, um it's not working. And the time constraints and things like that, no, time constraints and things like that stress her out. Well, that's
Yeah.
something I deal with Cassidy. And so I was telling her that a lot of it with us, it's if anyone's heard the term unschoolers, we're
Hmm.
not fully unschoolers, but we do what I found a great group on Facebook called Almost Unschoolers. There are certain things, certain math skills, things like that that we do have. Um, we follow a curriculum for, but it's not a day in, day out, every, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 3 p.m. We're going to be doing this subject.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for us that way. Life doesn't work for us that way. So, and the thing is I do go in and set up lessons ahead of time, but I don't assign them until I know what our day is.
Yeah.
And then because I get stressed out,
She assigns them
I
all
get
at the
str-
same time, which stresses me out because I'm already doing something.
Sometimes what I'll do is I'll assign the next day or two, and what they end up seeing is a whole bunch of things changing notifications. But when it comes down to it and they go in to look at it, it's only like 2 or 3 lessons for that day. But
Right.
we do a lot of um, sneaky learning, location education.
Mm,
What is going on right now? You can at any time you could walk in on a conversation on the differences between a pickle and a cucumber,
mm,
or viruses compared to bacteria, or talking about things like how does a pulley system work, how does these are things that are talked about all the time here, with our family, and it's not surprising. It doesn't have to be structured. Now, not all families are like that, and you do need a little bit more of it. But my dad was Army for 20 years. My mom
mm,
was a nurse for 45 years. My sister has her degree in business admin, with but she was in the Navy. But she has her set of experiences. I've been all over and done all kinds of different things. And Matt, with all of his background of working fence and dad's worked machinery,
mhm.
and there's a lot of experience here. And if something comes up, nobody has a problem with like pausing everything and making sure that the kids understand what we're talking about.
Right.
Now, sometimes it can turn into too obvious of a lesson.
Mhm.
But when people's eyes start glazing over, then you have to go, okay, wait a minute, let's back off a second. But but there's no real like, this is how it has to be. I put the link out again if anybody else wanted to come up and talk to. But well, that's why it's there, babe. um Ryan's making a cuppa. Could you make me some too? I'd like some. I like English breakfast tea. I love that.
So do I.
Does anybody know the difference between Turkish chai and India Thai chai? La la la.
I wouldn't have a
One makes you
clue.
super hyper and one makes you super calm.
Hello, Impedmar. No, the difference is spices. In Turkey, chai is literally the word for tea. It is not. It's a black tea. That's all it is.
Dad's call.
So when so I remember when we lived there for a while when I was a kid, and I remember I was at college or somewhere, and somebody asked me if I wanted chai, and I was so happy that somebody knew what that was. Gave me this cup of spiced. I'm like, this is constant comment. This is not. This
Well,
isn't chai. Yes,
yeah.
exactly, Raymond. It's the spices. There's some
But
things I've eaten all kind. Go ahead.
um, y'all were talking about prepping. I guess I started prepping when a couple ministrations back,
Right.
um, when Mr. O was in office, and I didn't
Okay.
realize what I was doing. As like I was telling Malachi, I think that I started buying stuff, and my kids are like, "Mom, why are you buying this stuff?" I said, "I don't know. God's weighing heavy on me to
Mm-hmm.
prepare for something that's coming,
Right.
and God, I he's like I feel like I've had dreams of being somewhere near the foothills of the mountains, but I'm not for sure which
Right.
mountains
Right.
because like there's plenty of them around. Um, but God said I'll know when I find it. I just got to go look. So, but I'd been buying up medical supplies, this
Mm-hmm.
type, stuff that I will never use because I don't know how to use it. But
But if you find someone with those skills, but I would highly recommend pick each item that you have that you're not sure how to use it. Watch a video on it. At least have a general idea
oh
of
well,
of.
some of the stuff that I bought come with videos.
Oh, okay,
Um,
good.
so and it come with a some of the like the sewing kits for sewing up wounds and stuff. It came with a piece of fake skin, I guess is what you
Right.
call it, fake skin,
Right.
and
Oh, so you could practice using it.
to do the different stitches, and also it comes with different different size of string. They're already threaded in individual packages.
All right, Matt, you can't fuss at Matthew when he does that to you next time.
So I take it that's your father.
Yes, it is.
Hi, nice to meet you,
All right.
sir.
Hey, Dad. Dad, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, can't you
I'm
tell
wondering,
by
do you
the,
have
all
a
the hair on my head?
there you go. There you go.
Hello,
Yes,
Miss
that's
Kim.
my dad. Yes, from
Yes.
here,
The military.
if you forget the hair, you can tell how much we look like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, Poppy.
1, 2,
I'll be
3,
right
4.
back. My little one's calling
Okay.
me.
See, I can count.
Oh, okay. Yes. Cassidy, I have
Well,
a job for you. Look,
I'm having
girl,
Mel's
move.
asleep in
Quit.
the
No,
room in
this.
front of me,
Here.
and Lynn's sleeping out in the living room.
Oh, okay.
So I'm adjourned into the restroom to have a quiet place.
Yes. I recognize.
Hi, Cassidy.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. Bunch of people over there saying hi. You said that Mom's already gone to bed, Dad?
I didn't mean to run this Kim off.
No, she said that her daughter needed something. I thought I had your channel. Okay. People are trading channels and stuff over on the side. Now, Dad, since I have you here, oh,
Sorry.
she's back.
Sorry. She wanted
as
to
I
make
said,
Yes,
sure I
but the
was
thing
going
with this
to.
is I'm having to yell over y'all.
I'm trying to talk quietly because everybody else in the house is asleep. And
Yeah, Ray's asleep here, and the kids are all hyped up because I'm online. So yes, Ray's asleep. Anyway,
Sissy,
so Sissy, what?
who?
Dad, are you on a computer, a phone, or what?
There you come back.
Okay. Are you on Wi-Fi?
It said it was due to unstable connection on my.
Okay. Let's see.
Can
M.
you hear me
Pedmore
now?
was asking how far away do you
iPad.
live from your parents? Normally, we live about 500 feet apart. So, I mean, 500 yards. But
No.
they,
Yeah.
yes, I actually pulled it up on Google Maps and tracked the line that I take to walk past the Quonset and
Oh,
all of
okay.
that to your house, and it's 500 yards. So, but currently they are about 5 hours away because my
At least you
my aunt had
didn't go country and say
double
spit distance.
mastectomy today. And say what? Dad? We didn't go country and say what?
I said, at least you didn't say we're spitting distance apart.
Well, depends on who's spitting.
Hey, now my grandma, she got in them spitting contests back in the day. She could spit pretty good, spitting that snuff. She'd do them fingers
No,
like
that's what
that.
Matt does. I have to say, since Matt and I met, he used to smoke 1 to 2 packs of cigarettes a day. He dipped snuff like constantly. And it was one of those things where I always said, you know, be careful what you say you'll never do. Yeah. Well, he did quit smoking, and he quit a long time back, and he actually only dips probably about half what he used to. So he has severely cut back his nicotine, but
It depends on how much stress I'm.
it does. Well, that's like Ray. Ray doesn't smoke more than a couple of cigarettes a day now unless she's hurting. You can tell Normally I go to town to buy her cigarettes. She doesn't leave the property too often, just her health. And she's gotten more and more uncomfortable around crowds. So, so I tend to end up being the one that goes and gets the groceries and stuff. And I can tell when she's hurting because she will. Thank you. I can tell when she's hurting.
On the inside.
Yes, it does.
From Alaska.
See, let me see here.
I
There we
wanted
go.
to let everybody know I appreciate them going to my site that's almost non-existent. I'm just getting it started, and I
Cassidy,
haven't had time to put
which
anything
tea
up
did you put in here?
because I've been running up to Dallas and back.
Now,
So
go fix my tea, please.
it's kind of been difficult to put up any content.
Cassidy
But I
made me a
hope to
cup
with
of tea.
the Texans
Dad,
down under help.
Cassidy made me a cup of tea. Well, it's in this cup, so it's iced tea. And she put Splenda in it, and then she put sweet tea on top of it. So now she looked at me. She looked at me like I was crazy when I wrote the instructions down of what I wanted. Now we know she should have read them. Anyway, let's see here. Let's look back a little bit and see. Yeah, with now the thing, Dad, do you want to talk a little bit about the types of stuff that you have on your what you plan on doing on your channel? Yeah. Were you able to follow what I said, Dad? I don't think so. I think he's still having connection problems. Dad has, as I said, he was in the Army for 20 years, and then he grew up in a smallish town in Texas, and also grew up. They had a bay house down off the Gulf,
It's
and so they've done a lot of. Oh, thank you, M. Pedmar, for the prayers for my aunt. Now, normally you're just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Yes, they're not that far. Nope, nope. Maybe a hop, maybe a skip, but definitely not a jump away. Yeah, no, just the other side of the canal. Dad's a lot of where I got my wanting to do all kinds of different things. I want to do something long enough to know I know how to do it, and then I kind of move on to something else. Now, mom's side of the family, lots of crafting, lots and lots of crafting.
Art, crafting, music.
Oh yes, oh yes. Now, Malachi, her dad was in the Army for 27 years. Dad, she lives over. I know it's in the UK. Please, Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. Thank you, Miss Kim.
You're welcome.
And M. Pedmart, Dad's channel name is HFH space Joat, JOAT, Jack of all trades. But you know, when I've joked before, but it was true. When I got my in order to get my driver's license, I had to know how to change a tire, do a full tune-up, drive a stick, all of that kind of stuff. And he took me out.
When I talk,
made sure I could drive in mud and snow.
Killing my internet.
What about sand?
Say it again, Dad.
That other.
Oh, I lose the internet. So, no, I just wanted to cover a little bit what you were talking about there. I'm hoping in the future to have some things on solar panels, electrical, wiring, and automotive, four-wheeling, whatever. I've got a lot of old fishing photos. If Anita has.
When he lived in Alaska, he was president of the Four Wheelers Club. That's a pretty cool thing to be in Alaska.
Nice.
Yep.
My dad retired in 74. He spent 25 years in the Army here at his home base was here at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. But he was in Vietnam twice. So and
Mm-hmm.
he passed away a couple of years ago on my birthday, and my birthday is
Oh,
9/11.
I was in from 67 to 87.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it was at 11 p.m. when he passed away, Ohio time.
Oh, wow.
I said, well, I'm just going to move that day to the 12th. So,
Just say he
Yep.
graduated.
We say that around here. It's you graduated, you got promoted, got your wings.
yeah.
It's Malachi says we are all Army kids. Yep, I am a brat through and through.
I come from a long line of Army, different military. I even had my oldest daughter.
Yep.
She was in the Army.
Yeah. Okay.
So we come from Navy, Air Force, Marine, Army.
Yeah.
And our ancestors go
where
back.
you were born.
Hey,
Well,
I was born in West Point, New York.
our ancestors go
Yeah.
back to the French Revolution, and even back a little further. So I found that pretty interesting.
Yeah, I do genealogy. That's something else I may. I'm sure I'll put some videos up, and I may actually do some live streams focused on it at some point. Shogun says that his father was in the Air Force, but with our family, the farthest back I've traced here in the United States was 1635. So, and that's mom's side of the family. Her ancestor was Thomas Arnold, who he started Providence Plantation that ended up becoming Providence, Rhode Island. So the thing of it is her grandfather, the line direct descendant, was a bigamist and a cad, and was a lied about his background and everything. And the thing of it is he didn't know. You know, his dad had passed away when he was younger.
Yeah.
And yep. Yes, West Point, absolutely. And Dad wasn't. He didn't attend West Point. He was stationed at West Point. So, you did, Dad. You did the telephone stuff there, right? Sometimes I think he's following good, and then I think he gets dropped off. But Miss Kim, you were saying that your family goes back to the French Revolution.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have all the information. My oldest brother has all of that.
Right.
His son, my oldest nephew, did a lot of research on the family history and stuff. And my dad's father's parents come from somewhere over in Ireland, but then my dad's mother, her family come from over in Wales. So
Malachi said that her brother was in the Royal Air Force and her sister-in-law was also. See, I think a lot of people who their families are military have a I don't know, deeper connection. And it is something also, no matter what country you come from, there is a camaraderie between it. You can have that connection of knowing that no matter which country it is, if your parent was a soldier, then there are going to be similarities across all cultures when you have a parent that is has made that promise, you know, and of what they are willing to do and willing to support for your country. And I think that does is a really important or really not important. What's the word I'm looking for? Significant, or you know, it's a connection that you can't replicate. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, now let me go back here. I saw Sweeney's Creek Farm showed up. Yay! I always like when you end up joining in on Matt's. If you end up wanting to show up and show us what you've got around. But somebody finally just put in Dad's channel. Just so y'all are aware, though, since he doesn't have content up yet, even if you sub with him, it may end up dropping off until he has content. And believe me, once he starts having content, we will be letting everyone know.
And everybody will know that
Oh,
it's
yes.
content.
We'll let everybody know.
Miss Anita, I'm going to have
Yes.
to step down
Okay.
because
Well, I'm glad you came up.
Miss Malachi and I was on until like, I don't know. We spent
Oh.
almost 5 hours on my live stream last night. So
Oh, wow.
it was 6 in the morning her time when she got off, and it was like 2 something here. So pardon me, what did he say?
Well, I'm glad you came up. It's so much easier for me to have a conversation. I mean, I can chat with what people are bringing up on the line.
Yeah, it is always nice to have
Okay.
somebody up on your panel. It kind of makes it
More
go
of
a little
a
bit easier for
conversation.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a big old. Thank you, Kim, for joining us, Miss Kim. I really appreciate it.
Enjoy
It was
the
nice
camp.
chatting with you.
Welcome. Thank you for having me, and it was nice to meet
Oh, of
you,
course.
sir, and thank you for your service.
Yep.
You're quite welcome.
Can you tell how much we look alike?
Yeah.
I shave better though. I shave more.
My kids put that Snapchat on my phone, so I did that bald-headed thing, and I sent it to my brother, and I told him, I said, "Look, this is what I'd look like if I was bald-headed. We'd all look alike." So
right.
he just has a little bit of hair that grows. A couple of my brothers, and so they just shave it all bald, so they don't have to bother with it at all. So
right.
But it was funny.
Let's see here. Oh, Malachi was saying that there was a great chat last night.
Yes, it was.
Here. Sweeney.
Thank you again. And y'all
all
have
right,
a blessed
take care.
night.
Good night. My latest eastern brown snake release, he slid about 1 foot away from my butt. Let me see here. Everybody's saying hello to Sweeney. Oh, did Marino show up? Yay. Let me see here. Sweeney, if you want to come up. Well, if anybody does, but
yeah, I have
Dad.
very lousy signal here.
I'm noticing that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop off for a minute.
Okay.
And, unless you got something you want to say or whatever.
Not directly. I mean,
Okay.
what we had been talking about earlier, the general concepts of getting started with being prepared. You know, that
Right.
education is one of the best things
Well,
you can do.
I have some experience in that area.
Right. We'll try to do another night because that's
Alaska.
something. Yep.
I'm sorry.
I said we're from with our family. I know that's a subject that's going to come up multiple times.
Oh yeah.
So definitely. Right now, your signal seems to be doing pretty good.
Right.
But
as I said,
I know it drops off easy.
I've only got one bar on the LTE sign up there.
Ah, okay.
So, if I raise the wrong hand, I think I lose the signal.
Right. Marino says, "Jack of all trades, the man, the myth, the legend." So he recognized what you meant. Who's that? Yes, that's Aunt Chris. Griffonia. That's Aunt Chris. There you go.
But I was the president of 4-wheel drive club, as you mentioned, and we used to go running what they call the 26-mile loop, which is where they take the
not right now.
Tanks
go ahead
out to the APCs and the tanks. They would take them out on this loop and run them through the muck and the mire in the summertime, and then they'd take them out at wintertime at 50 and 60 below zero to see what would break on them.
Right.
And but our 4-wheel drive club used to drive the 26-mile loop, as it was called, and just trying to make it around the loop because it was a difficult course. They had what they call muskeg up there, which is a swamp in the north in the summertime. But hunted moose, drove up the back way into Yukon territory from Alaska, and paddling through.
Well, we have 11 lovely people in the house, as we would say. Go ahead, Dad.
Oh, I was just skimming the top on a few things that
Yes.
I enjoyed doing up there. I have a lot of memories. Driving the Alcan Highway multiple times in
Right.
my Land Cruiser. And
Yep. I've got some great pictures of that. One of the things I've been trying to do is to actually pull up some of these videos or pictures of some of these times that we end up talking about, because it's, great times.
Right.
And
then
getting
you've got
them to
all my
where they'd
pictures
be
that you
easier to
haven't sent me of the fishing.
I've saved them in files, and I did give you a bunch of them, but there's a lot of them that I haven't. I need time.
You might say I cut my teeth on
Hold on.
saltwater fishing. And
what was that, Matt?
Tell your father to share one of the lives that he participated in,
so that
he can have, I guess, content.
Oh, okay. Thank
what's
you.
Matt saying?
I'll look into being able to do that for you. It was Impedmar was recommending that that even if you just make a little introductory video, you can
Okay.
do it just. And because Mom's done the other the ones that she's already started doing with her leather work
and stuff.
For y'all that don't know, Momo, this is Momo's husband. And
Is that
but she can even, yes. But she can help you set up even just a 30-second, hey, this is me.
Right.
And we get that on there. That way people, when they do pick up your
had
channel,
a lot on her plate with her sister, so
I'm sure.
I'm trying not to give any more stress there.
Right.
And
well, sometimes though,
I haven't
this would
mentioned
be
Ray, so
yeah. This would be such a short, quick thing that it
right.
might be something that can be a little like brain off topic for a moment.
Well,
which
maybe
can
I
be good.
can do a little video of
I'm not.
helping put the power in for Sissy and
Oh,
Kevin's
yes,
motorhome.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And I
Dad's
don't
done
think
all
you
kinds of things like that.
I don't think you heard the outlet that Kevin put in, and he'd run it over to the other side of the garage to the power panel, but it was too small a wire, so we had to run
is
it
that
to
the one that you
shed, the shed that's outside. But I never did look at his connection that he did of the actual plug where he plugs his motorhome into.
Right.
And as soon as we turned the breaker on, pop, it blew. So I knew what all I'd put in. So
right.
I had him unhook it from the motorhome so he wouldn't damage the motorhome. Pop, it blows again. So I knew it was either his cable, which turned out to be a factory connection, or the connector on the wall, which he put in. And
right.
I pulled the cover off, and sure enough, the ground wire was not insulated, and it had folded over, touching the hot wire in the thing. So it was literally connecting 110 to the building frame.
Oh.
Yes.
Shocking.
Not good. But we had heard the breaker turned off since
right.
It was installed, so nobody had gotten shocked. But when we were testing it out, I found that out and corrected it, and it's been working fine. So anyway, that's just some of the little things. I'll try to put some content up on that.
Yes.
So
and the thing it is I've got, I don't know how many recent videos that I've done that I still need to just put together and put up. I keep forgetting to. Well, there's just always so many different things going on, and you know how boring my life is.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, you know how boring my life is.
you don't never do anything.
Just
you keep
sitting on my butt, holding down the recliner and eating bonbons. That's me.
Yeah, you just keep hiding under the house. Does Matt let you out from underneath the house every now and then?
I went under Tuesday. I was under the house for a bit Tuesday. More just kind of getting things figured out of, okay, how
What do you
was
need to
thing
finish?
how right. What status do we have? And all right, what needs to be, you put a
These things are
bookmark in
more
it, you put a
available now
placeholder.
to be able to order in.
Hey,
No
we're just gonna
kidding.
go get all of our stuff and move it in up here.
Yeah,
And,
we might as well at this point.
take over and not
Yeah,
make your mom.
we're just gonna move back in. How's that?
It's happened before.
Yeah. I know. Yes, I know. But
and not a bad thing.
let's see.
We're very
It's
flexible.
Malachi's going off to bed. Thank you for joining us, Malachi. Yes, Impedmar was recognizing that what you were talking about, Dad, was a fire hazard. I am so thankful
Oh yes.
that Dad was there. It's something that sometimes things go wrong, like when their thing blew. That allow us to take a closer look and then be able to
I'm
get it
glad
fixed before it became a much bigger
I'm glad
problem.
they had not connected it without me here.
Right.
And so I was necessary to be up here.
Is that what I was
I'm trying to say, okay,
for?
I thought you were froze there for a minute, but
No, sir. I'm actually looking for some. I'm going through. I have you over here, so I can still see your face, but I really can't see the chat. So I keep trying to go back over and
am I
looking
too
to
wide?
see. Shogun says that, no comment. I am not going to answer that one.
I don't want
Downriver.
broad comments.
It's because we are family.
Yeah. Impedmar said, yeah, definitely got intervened. Shogun had said that our family sounds like his family. And it's like, well, yeah, because we're family.
Alive?
Something like that. Let's see, old pictures folders, family tree. See, I've got all.
In
I'm
case
not
people don't
sure.
realize, I'm a bit of a jokester.
Oh, yes.
I'll give you one of my fun comments. I tell everybody I was born with an extra bone in my head. A humorous.
Yes. It's a
So
funny bone.
how many people did you lose after
bone.
that one?
We're holding strong, but I don't know if the jokes keep stinking, they might run.
Please tell Downriver not to get him started.
Oh.
If he gets him started, he's gonna stay up on there with him all night.
Shogun says he likes jokesters. Uh-oh. Now you're in trouble. Now you are in trouble. Let me see. I was trying to look for.
Here's one that people will probably appreciate. When I worked with FEMA for a while doing disaster housing inspections, my favorite question when we first get together was they would say, "Where are you from?" I say, "I'm from my mother. Where are you from?" But
yep.
And it really broke the ice with them because they'd been dealing with all the stress and not having power, and maybe half the house is gone and flood water's backed up and all like that. And they actually laughed, and it kind of just, they could take a breath and deal with things better.
Yes. So. Yes. Sometimes that's what it takes is catching that breath.
You know what I'm talking about, because you've done a little bit of that too.
Yes. Yes, definitely. I am looking for on here and I'm having problems. I'm going to try something here.
Uh-oh.
And yeah.
Well, if I don't see you again.
Yeah, no kidding. Bye. No, please, if I disappear, then you stay on because you would literally be holding the stream open until I could get back up.
Okay.
So something to keep in mind.
So you want me to stay here all night while you go catch a nap,
sure.
right?
I do need to go to the restroom though, so that may.
We'll put Big Matt on there.
Yeah. Here's. I was trying to bring up because I have a bunch of them online of the old family pictures and stuff that I've done. But I was hoping they were on my portable hard drive, but I don't think that they have synced to it yet. And when I'm doing there's the OneDrive. We'll see, because it doesn't always sync up, and I don't know if I've done it since doing all those, if that makes sense. What? Uh-oh.
What was that?
Oh. Shogun said, man, I wish you worked out here.
Who's that?
And Shogun, he does his channel is about different stones. He actually, have you ever seen
Different what?
tiger iron stones?
Okay.
Lapidary. He does lapidary. And let's see. Shogun says, I like jokesters. Oh, we read that earlier. Okay. Let me see here.
It's a good thing we don't have a portable camera because I would have to show you where Sue is.
Where is Sue?
Taking up Cassidy's dog.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
And her
That
dog.
huge dog, for those of y'all who have seen our really, really big dog, he is currently taking up all of Cassidy's suit. I mean, Cassidy. I read something and tried to talk at the same time. It did not work well. Cassidy's bed. Here are some of. Can I get that? Is it in here or not?
Yeah, he likes to sprawl out.
Yes. Oh. See, Dad, I have some of yours. Let me see if I can get these to come up.
Bushcraft.
Is Suey still in here? Suey, are you still in here? I'm not sure she is. I think she had said she needed to jump off, but I'm not certain. I'm gonna try to see if I can share. I'm learning how to do some of this.
If you jump off the internet and you're on the cloud, is it a long fall or what?
Thanks. I love you, Dad.
I love you.
If Renee's still in there, he knows how to do it, but he does it from a gaming center. So.
Right. No, I wanted her to see something I was about to put up if it comes up right. Shogun said that he wish you worked for the FEMA out there, and he says they were straight hard nosed.
Whereabouts is there?
No, it. Shogun, I could be off, but aren't you in Australia?
Good night, Judy May.
Because he works with opals and tiger eyes and tiger iron, which
I used to have. Actually, I still have some opals and tiger eye jewelry from when I was in Bangkok. And for all those people out there, so Adikap Kunsabaidi.
Well, she lives. A minute. Window. Yes, it will let me do this. Here are.
For the Turkish.
Oh, he's in California. We don't have anybody in here currently that's Turkish, but these are pictures. Dad, can you see it very well? These are pictures of Dad when he was in Thailand.
That was on the bridge over the River Kwai expedition. In the what's that? The Emerald Buddha and the what was it? Emerald Buddha and I can't think of the others.
These are
spots on that boat. We were going
Dad
to the bridge over the River Kwai scene.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that was part of the story.
Yeah, that was on that river trip.
Right.
It was conducted by the not USO,
and this
but
is,
it was
Thailand Klong River trip is what was on the hit share. It should give you options. Yes.
And we stopped by and saw the King's barges. I don't know if that's in these pictures or not.
I'm trying to see if I can bring these.
And they didn't survive the heat too well.
Right. What? I used to have a big blue tiger eye bolo tie in the 70s. Yes. Dad still has some bolo ties.
Oh, yeah.
But these are all pictures that Dad took now, and these would have been back in 69, Dad? Probably?
Probably.
Because you and Mom got married in 70.
68, 69. So probably about 69, yeah.
Okay. Long time ago.
Back up. That's the main temple over there. And it was under construction at the time. They were refurbishing the top of it. That's why that has a funny scaffolding on top of it.
And then
let's see. Okay, that
I
was.
thought some of this was just really cool.
Okay, that one picture in the middle top row is upside down.
Oh, it is? Okay,
That's
good
the
to know.
front of a ship, the King's
Oh.
barges.
Oh, yes, because I see the other one right over there.
Right.
All right. I'm
So
bringing it
you'll have to
up bigger.
turn it upside down or flip it on the head.
Did it?
And that's the
Nope, it
side
won't
view
show when I
of
did it
the
that way.
King's barges in the third picture.
Right.
I can't quite, it's too small for me to really see the other two.
Yeah. Shogun said that his dad was over there in Vietnam. Dad was
Well, this is Thailand,
stationed in
Bangkok.
Thailand. Right, but in that during Vietnam.
Right.
And being over there. Let me see. Also had, I'm looking for
Turkey.
Is it showing this that I'm on to? Yes. These are, see, I have gotten some of these, Dad. These are
I can't read the writing.
This was, oh, I know what this is. Hold on just a second. Change it to extra large icons. Can you see? This is the construction that was being done on the building in front of ours.
Oh, yes.
That when
Actually,
I
that's
fell,
looking over. That's where you fell in the line.
Yes. Yep. For those who don't know, this really hasn't been talked about much on any of the lives before. When we lived in Turkey, I fell 3 stories and landed in wet cement with lye.
If you hadn't landed in the wet cement, you'd have been dead.
Yep. I landed on my neck and head down. And it was in this stuff.
They
where
mixed the plaster of Paris with lye to get the white coloration.
Yeah. And then it should be over there, Matthew. I don't know. Oh, okay, we'll get out in a minute then. And let me see here. Then Izmir. This is kind of went on this tangent, folks. I'm surprised it took me this long.
Large
Oh, it's
icons.
okay. I'm gonna have to tell it. I would have to tell it to go through those.
It's still loading.
No. Yeah. Here's, I need to go to these and you can kind of see. But this is where we lived when we lived in Turkey. There,
Yeah,
now you can see. It went back. Sorry, folks.
Angela and John.
Yeah. I want to find more of your pictures of this. This looks so beautiful. Apparently it was a church nearby.
I'm not sure.
Can
I
you
can't
see it
see
on your
it good
screen?
enough.
It looks like the inside of a cathedral,
we lived on
and that they were
8th floor balcony, and it had four sub basements to go out on the plain garden in the back because we lived right on the edge of a cliff.
Right.
Up in Hatay. Oh, we had the swimming pool out there.
Yep. All right. I'm going to see if I can share this part. Let me see here. I'm going to do another share. Oh, I just have to tell it that. All right. Now I want to change it to a different one.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
it's
no.
All right. We're still here.
I recognize that girl.
Oh, no, Mr. Bill. No.
Don't bring him up.
Is it going to give me that option? Yes. There. That's the one I want. Okay. That is HFH Jote a long time ago.
Yep. And
yep.
Two of my little babies.
Yep, that's my younger brother and sister. There's
showing off that beefcake.
Yeah. Now with did I close it?
That's for people that might be interested, that scenery in the background, that's Izmir, Turkey Bay in the background. We were in a district called Hatay.
Did it go bigger?
There we go.
Okay, can y'all still see it, Dad? Because
yes.
I just changed it on my screen.
It's half screen for my tablet.
Oh, it's half of you? Okay. Let me. bring it back to here.
Charlie
Okay.
and Cassidy playing in the pool.
All right.
I forgot about that. Of course, most of the time y'all were playing with that, I was at work. Most of the time.
Probably. But you see, I wasn't there anymore. By the time y'all took Charlie over there, I had
Right.
I was in back
You
in
were
Texas.
over there breaking things at home.
Yes. Well, I had, as we said, fallen 3 stories. I had been hit by a car and thrown 27 feet. I had fallen and gotten my stitches in my chin. Yeah. So they decided to send me to
The
Texas
whole
and
wall of our house that you see there was
Mhm.
windows.
Right.
We're as
Let me
I
see
said,
if I can.
you go down 8 floors to walk out in the front at the road level. If you go down 4 more floors, you walk out of the back playing garden and look down to the next building, because we're literally built on the side of a cliff there.
I'm trying to find sharing a window. I've lost under there we are. Okay. I had lost what screen I was on. Now let me see. I wonder if it'll do this.
Have we run everybody off yet?
No, not completely. We actually have 13 wonderful people that are still here with us. Yes, God was absolutely with me that day. For just to give a little bit of background, also though, we had some family friends, well, friends that have become family, very much so. When we lived there, 2 Turkish gentlemen, young men, and
Netin Kaya and Bülent Kaklan. I can't say it.
No, Bülent is Kaya.
Oh yeah.
I know that Bülent is Kaya, but anyway, there was
yeah.
They realized that if our God could get me through all of that, then he must be pretty powerful.
Yep.
So anyway, I'll
they
find some other. I was hoping to find
a chicken for you.
Yeah. Yep.
And we said we don't need sacrifices.
But if you want to make a dinner,
God that takes care of our family.
Well, the thing of it is you also want to respect other. When people are offering,
oh yeah,
it's not necessary, but I always appreciate when
respect.
someone offers. Yes, it's that respect. Absolutely. Absolutely. But some of these right here that we've been showing y'all, these are from we have tons and tons of picture slides, like literally the old
and you
slides.
haven't gotten to the last 4 big boxes of them.
Oh no, not even close. The thing that is literally people don't realize sometimes what's involved with getting all of that taken care of.
Transcribing them to digital.
It's moving them over to digital. I have everything I need, but it's going to take hours and hours and hours. And on top of that, it's not just going through the process of just put it in, get the digital, put it in, get the digital. Think about going through a textbook and individually scanning every page. But on top of that, I have to organize it into
not only
like
organize,
approximate
but clean
year,
them, because
location.
they've been in
Yes,
storage
some of
for
them.
years.
Absolutely.
In heat.
Absolutely. Here's early RivNet scans, but that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for some of those fishing pages just of you growing up. I've put some of them in.
Yeah, I got some of the fishing ones.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I thought I had put some of them here in a folder that would be easy for me to pull up. And I've been wanting to do more of that because even if it's always more fun when people come along for the show,
and
you know,
those
of
that
being
don't
able to
know,
talk about it.
I'm sorry if it looks like I'm sitting right next to a shower and there's a cabinet over my head. It was the only
We don't want to know
in
if your
house.
pants are up or down. We don't need to know.
No comment.
No comment.
But
Please, no
it was
comment.
the only quiet place I wouldn't wake people up, so I had to adjourn
Yep.
into here to.
You're just gonna have to start traveling with a green screen. That's all.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
At least it's not a smell-o-vision.
Just get one at
No, I'm kidding.
just get one at Dollar General. There you go. Just get one at Dollar Tree. But oh, with mine and Matt's anniversary coming up, here's a fun one for people. I am learning how to do this. Share screen. I want to do this. Oops.
The only bad thing is when you're in like this, you can't see all the comments.
Right. I can hear if you're on a computer,
Right.
then you can. But
mine just says you're in the show. Everybody can see and
we
hear
did lose
you.
some people. Oh well, that's all right. Now let me see here.
Yeah,
It's actually getting pretty late. We've been on for
30, what they call a bait casting reel with.
We've been. Oh, duh. Go ahead, Dad.
And I've unspun a bunch of what I call bird's nests. When you're learning to cast with a bait casting reel, and you let it spin too fast and then stop it, everything kind of like spins up, and you have this big mess on your reel. So I learned the hard way. Uh-oh, I lost everything.
Yep. Oh no, because I just changed that.
Okay.
For those who, you know, we've talked a few times about the fact that Matt and I, our 14th anniversary is this next week. This is the very first picture I ever got of Matt. This is the morning after we met. We had talked all night long, and since our friend had gone to him up,
what vehicle is he in? It looks like his head's almost touching.
Remember that little Suzuki? Remember that little Suzuki that that the drive shaft broke, and that was just a few days.
I'm sorry, the little what?
The little Suzuki, the little Jeep type thing.
Oh, okay.
That I had.
Right.
Yep, that was him there. I'm surprised that he fit well, but yeah, he actually didn't do too bad.
I think he had a good reason to find a way to fit.
Let me see here. This is a recent picture, just this last week, of Matt, myself, and then here's my mom. That's Momo.
Well, you got the arrow on Matt when you're saying this is Momo, so I'm wondering.
Oh no, this is Momo. This one's right here. That's Momo. That's my Momo.
And that's Whataburger.
Yes, it is. That's Texas home cooking sometimes. And that was he looked so growly there. But that was us for oh, almost messed it up.
Who's those two people?
Yep, we're good.
So
I've got a picture of that from the side. That picture of Matt and I. Yep. Dad took a picture from the side of that one. You can tell that Matt's got YouTube playing while he was in that picture with me.
Yeah, he was scoping out somebody's content while he was in the photographs.
He was watching the Huntsman. Impedmar was saying they call it a rat's nest when you get I'm assuming from when you get that line all messed up. Yep.
Well, I'm from South Texas.
Shogun says it calls it a bird's nest. Yep. I'm one of those weird people when it gets all tangled. Oh, Shogun, yes. He's 6'9", and that is not a typo. He is 6'9".
If you've ever seen Shaq, he's about the same size as Shaq.
He's a little shorter than him, but not much. You're no longer you're under. Yes, he's now around between about 350. He was over 400 just the beginning of this year.
You've been filing the calluses off on his feet?
Yeah, sure. That's how it works. But in the past when we've gone fishing and stuff, I'll untangle a line. Still might have to cut it if it turns out that some of it's gotten damaged, but I don't know. I like untangling
I couldn't afford to cut the line if I couldn't.
Yes, now you understand why he is Big Matt. There's lots of Matts, but he's Big Matt. Actually, if you go back, yeah.
Oh, you forgot to mention my other fun job I used to do with art.
Oh, working with putting in
Installing
septics
septic
sometimes.
tanks.
Yes, that job was full of.
That's a poopy job.
That's why I'm such
Yeah,
a
it's a
stinker.
crappy job. It's a crappy job. That's all. All right,
Hey,
we're
but where would you be
actually
without it?
up Crap Creek,
Poopy Creek.
Or
Poopy Creek.
yes. Anyway, just think of all those poor people
Yep.
in the what's that dome in Louisiana that were stuck in
Oh, it's
there
a
for the
Superdome.
flood.
Yeah, it's Superdome
And,
for
all the
Louisiana.
things backed up.
You're breaking up again a little bit. Yes. Thanks, middle poop emoji. Thanks. Anyway,
They're gonna. I think they're bleeping our content.
is that what it is?
You saying all them bad words
Yeah, well,
like fecal
you're
matter.
you're in the outhouse, so yeah.
We stay there.
Yeah, I know. A bunch of crappy jokes.
Yeah. You said it. I didn't.
Yep, it's official. We have dirty jokes on my channel. Septic tanks are good going in
I'm gonna have
and
to
pretty
go
stinky.
put my.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to put my iPad in the dishwasher and clean it.
Uh-huh. Dad, Shogun said septic tanks are good going in and pretty stinky coming out.
Well, I've got a couple
Yep.
of those jokes from the pictures of pump trucks. I'll have to send you some of those.
Yeah, he says literally. Yep. Hold on just a second here. I'm putting Matt on for a moment.
She needs a potty break.
Uh-oh, there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I guess we can run her channel into the ground now.
No.
Teach her to run off and leave us. Yeah, I helped you get your septic tank installed for your house.
Oh, you just did the pipes. I did the rest.
No, I did I dug the hole.
No, I dug the hole.
You dug the hole?
Yeah,
Man,
I dug the hole. You just put the pipe in.
I trusted you with my machine.
Well, yeah.
Come on, think of a good excuse.
I've only been a good operator for about 20 years.
You're coming along.
Uh-oh. Roland with Raquel came in. How you doing, Roland? Anita will be back in just a minute.
Yeah, I'm learning how this stuff works from my kids instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
I'll get some content out pretty soon. But family came first, had to come up here and help out Mel's sister.
It's the way it always is. It's got to be that way.
Yeah. So, any fun things you need to bring up?
Oh yeah, y'all tune in next Tuesday night at 7:00 Central Time. I am going to have a live anniversary party.
Ooh, I didn't know you could put that on YouTube.
I don't know why not.
But say that again. What was the date and time?
Next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
All right. So is that going to be there at the house, or you going to?
No, it's going to be on YouTube.
Ah. Where are you going live from?
The internet.
Ah, okay. Do I detect that you're avoiding the answer?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm just being a pain in the butt like usual.
Imagine you're getting some accolades there on the chat line, agreeing with you.
No, Raquel's going woohoo and yay, and I enjoy the
banter.
he likes donuts.
Likes donuts. The kind with a 4-wheel drive going around and around, or the edible type?
No, he said I enjoy the Dozier and equipment. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is
I've
on
just
that computer that I can't hardly read the chat on. So
I sold my dozer,
Hi,
and
Poppy.
I think I might have my backhoe sold
she's in bed.
Oh.
because I just can't maintain them
When
anymore.
she wakes up, can you tell her that her dog stole my
Wait a
spot
minute, you're gonna
in
have
the
to start
bed?
over, Cassidy, because I was talking. What?
Huh?
He said
have to
you'll have
start
to
over.
start
I was
over because he
talking.
was talking.
Oh. Sorry, Poppy.
Say it again. No.
When Momo wakes up, can you tell her that her dog stole my spot in the bed?
Okay. Now, what's unusual?
That's what I said. All right, here's Texans Down Under. She's back.
Oh, okay.
Raquel stopped in for a minute.
Oh.
Well, don't worry about it, Anita. But you're probably going to be. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now? Oh. I said, don't worry about it. You'll probably get banned from the internet after Matt and I were together. But
wouldn't surprise me. Oh, Raquel's still here. Hello, Raquel.
You were saying you were going to the restroom and you come back chewing on something. You can't do that.
No, because I went and I washed my hands and I made sure that Matthew got his melatonin, and then I grabbed a
yeah.
Yeah.
One of those diet pills.
Yes, something like that.
Now, is that diet tea?
Yes.
Chasing your.
Now it is, because Cassidy
Yeah, I heard she
earlier
put Splenda in your sweet tea.
in Matt's sweet tea. No, time changes beginning in November, baby. Yes, it is already almost 11:30.
It's 11:13.
I know, it's almost 11:30. So yeah, we've been on here for 2.5 hours. I'm back. LOL missed me all. Got some news about my other 2 deleted channels. So what happened? This is Ryan.
Does somebody need to come up?
Gooder news. Ryan, do you want to come up? We can paste that in here. All right.
I gotta save some content for my channel.
Yeah. We can. It says he's got news. Ryan's been. There's been, Dad, a lot of problems with trolls that have been coming through, and
Below the
they're
bridge.
also, yeah, they've been hijacking things, so to speak, and it's. Excuse me. It's just people coming in and
They
just
don't
being
have anything
destructive.
decent to do themselves, so they
I
gotta
know.
mess other people up.
I mean, I understand that as far as an explanation. Raquel, that's
Did
my
that help?
dad. Jote is Jack of all trades. HFH Jote is his actual channel, but he hasn't had a chance to put anything
channel.
up yet. Yep, he technically has a channel, but we're hoping by tomorrow he at least has an intro video. Thank you. Got some gazoon tights. Bless you. God bless you. No salute. Cassidy tells everybody they need to be saying gazoon tight. Anyway,
I usually just
I
say
got lost. I sneezed
good
and I lost what I was
Zoom
saying.
night.
Good soon night.
Zoom
Yes. He's got 8. Raquel was asking what your channel's about. My dad is a jack of all trades, and he's done things like he's worked with just about every kind of thing you can think of to work with, electrical and
I haven't done any
septic
brain
systems
surgery.
and all kinds of stuff.
She needs to tune in because he can show her things about solar power and stuff.
Yes, he's completely done all of the Oh, a minute. Ryan says, I'm on my iPhone. Give me 10 minutes to get Wi-Fi signal because I'm normally on my PC streaming with Ethernet. Okay. And Raquel forgot because she was on the night that Momo started. But my dad, he's done solar panels. He's done lots of fishing and stuff like
Well,
that.
20
Four-wheeling.
years in the
If you want to go back,
Army,
yeah,
30 years
just all
installing
kinds of
medical
stuff.
equipment, including took equipment into.
Now, I will warn you ahead of time. If you ask a question that can have a detailed answer, he will give you the detailed answer. Detailed.
I've learned to look for the glazing over the eyes.
But that's harder to do online.
I know.
We'll have to have you do, like, whenever a subject comes up that you're wanting to do a video on, you're going to have to post 2.
Okay.
One's going to be the detailed, the good information, the like the full
I've
explaining
got
the
to get my
different types of
first channel
current.
up first. Just give me a break.
Oh no, I'm saying within that channel, you could have
Oh,
a for each series. You would have 2. One that's the
well, I
crux
need
of
to
it,
have
and
a
then the one
learning
that's the
channel and a information channel.
yes. Let me see here.
I've installed medical.
Raquel says that you look too young to be my dad. All right, so Dad,
Well, tell
how
them
old are
I was
you?
born in 1948,
Yes, you were.
May 5th. I'm a Cinco de Mayo baby.
Yep. Yes, simplified version and detailed version. Absolutely. But
I'm 73.
yes, my dad is 73.
I would show you my scarf, my triple bypass, and
I'm going to tell Mama you were showing everybody your chest hairs.
well,
That's
they
not
couldn't
too
see
hard.
me because of the chest
They
hair.
poke. I know. When he had his bypass,
Go ahead.
they had to shave his
I showed
chest.
that to Sissy and Kevin. The
Right.
pictures of all the hair they shaved off of me.
You have pictures of it?
I've got pictures
Where?
of it
I
on my
need those
phone.
pictures. I
And
need those pictures. There's like a bowl piled with
No,
hair.
it's not that bad. It's pretty good though.
It looks the woman,
I think they
the
already
poor
carried
nurse, when
some
she
off.
came
The
out, she
trash can
looked
was
like a
full.
deer in the headlights. I mean, the poor, I don't think she'd ever seen that much hair. You could braid his hair.
Oh, the poor nurse.
Yeah, the poor nurse that had to shave your chest and stuff when he had the bypass.
2 people with a couple of different razors.
They went through multiple razors. I can attest to that.
But I do have pictures of in fact, I was just looking at them tonight.
Yeah.
And if you go on my computer, it'll be in my downloads from the phone.
Okay.
And
I'll
look
find
in the, was that 2014? Around November, December of 2014. So anyway.
Well, Raquel
it's
saying
too late
that
tonight, yeah.
Right. Raquel deleted, got rid of this channel that she was on because she just got tired of them trash talking certain people, so she deleted them. And Matt was wanting to know who, but I'd really rather not go into that on here.
Don't give them any advertisements.
Right.
Yeah.
I would just rather we know that there's people out there to do it. And I mean,
after 20 years in the military, I could probably quote you a few.
Yes, but there's also, I mean, Dad can back me up on this. Sometimes we have family that does things, and you still have to associate. Now, obviously, in your situation, with this being a person that it's a channel, it's not someone that you even really, it's not like it's going to change your day-to-day life by not being with them anymore. But sometimes we have to still just be aware that's how somebody's going to be.
Right.
But
you also
in different ways, people have different ways of communicating. But I don't need to have. I don't want to give that kind of
Platform.
action that platform. Yes. Up, Ryan's here.
Hey,
Hello.
Raquel. Also,
Hold on just a second, Ryan.
when you
Hello from the
when
UK.
you
Yeah,
deleted
basically
them,
what
you
they
can also go back to their channel and click on the three little
no,
dots up at the
I
top and actually
I'm
block
on
them
mobile
so that
signal
they
at the
can't
moment,
come
so
back.
it's shit.
Okay.
Excuse my French. Anyway, they
That's
said
Ryan
no.
down there, but can't hear him.
Okay, yes. Hold on, Matt. Ryan, go ahead and start saying it again.
Basically, they said no because of SC. I'm sure we all know what SC stands for. Anyway,
Right.
they said no. I can't have them both back, even if I try to appeal against it. Otherwise, they will block my IP address. Now, if I lose this account,
Really?
yeah, serious. So what I'm going to have to do, I know that I don't care if they're listening. I'm going to take out a VPN service so they can't block my IP address of my house router, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So yeah, so if I lose this channel, they're going to block my actual router's ISP's IP address.
Wow. And the thing
It's
is, if I remember correctly, basically you got hacked and somebody was putting stuff up. It's not something you asked for, wanted, or anything. Correct?
No, exactly. This is, I'm walking about because the signal outside is much better than the Wi-Fi.
I've been there. I understand. I've been there.
Ethernet's the best. On my gaming PC is the best. Anyway, they attack the wrong people.
Right.
They
Ryan,
go. They don't.
are you in the US?
No,
No,
sir,
I'm
he's
in the
not.
UK. I'm actually walking about. It seems that I'm on camera. I'm gonna show you the beach where I actually live. So I
Oh,
don't know how
really?
to turn this cam. I don't know how to turn
Because
this cam.
normally when you're on live, the only thing I see is the top side of your head and the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I don't
It's
recognize you from this angle.
no. I know. I don't know what
He's
it
got
is.
a good looking ear.
But the iPhone don't pick you up. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Hang on, I'll show you now. Oh, it's a lovely view.
Well, hello. There you are.
Oh, there we are. I picked it up now.
I thought I detected a bit of a northeastern accent.
Yes. Very north and very east.
Hang on, I'm getting closer. Yes,
Oh.
outside.
Hey, Matt, are you looking at this? He's showing the pier near him.
Do I smell fish?
Oh, it's lovely, man. You should see it in the daytime.
Yep, you're gonna have to do a video in the daytime.
All the way down here is the sea. Down by here now it's a steelworks, and down by there, right by here, is a fish shop, which is closed at the moment because it's only 5 o'clock in the morning.
Raquel, he did not do anything bad. It was he was hacked, and people were putting up, we'll just say, nasty stuff.
But anyway, with this YouTube, it's absolutely stupid. Oh.
Right.
Thank you for your assistance.
Yes.
No problem. 5G. Put up 5G.
Woohoo! Maybe because you're by the pole.
5G.
Maybe that's what it is.
It was 3G the other day. Oh. No, but anyway, that's what they just said.
Above you.
Because over here, we have YouTube in London.
Right.
And all the copyright claims and everything, they don't go to the US, it goes to London. So if they can't deal with the claim in the UK, they go down they send them over.
So you've got an additional layer of red tape basically to deal with because of being over there.
Now I know this is a bloody PG channel, but excuse my French, but it's bullshit. I do apologise for swearing then, but I know I got ADHD, but do you know what I mean? It's
as I said earlier, there are some times when certain terms are more effective than others. But
yeah.
It's called bovine excrement.
Flip-flops are broken now. Great.
Could you hear that? Could you hear that, Ryan?
No, I couldn't hear it. I
Okay.
don't know what it is with this iPhone. It plays up because I got it on full blast.
Right, but part of the problem is because of the wind, it thinks that you're talking, and so it's muting us.
Ah, right, got you.
But he said that it's bovine excrement.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yes, it's cow poopy. Anyway,
what time's it over there then?
Currently we're looking at it's almost 11:30 at night.
It is 5:27 over here. It'd be daylight in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I was about to say it's just super early morning for you, isn't it?
But I'll be going live tomorrow, so I'll show you an actual photo what it's like.
That would be
Did you bring your fishing pole with
really
you?
great. Yeah.
Just take your fishing Matt to let Willie know. So obviously I don't have his phone number.
Hey Matt, did you hear that? He said let Willie know. About how long before you'll be doing that, going live? You said during the daytime. What time of your time?
Well, right, 5:27. I'll have 2 hours kept now. About 4 o'clock my time, so I don't know what time that is, your time.
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
How long from now?
So that's 11 hours, right?
Now?
About 11 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. We can figure it from our local time.
And they blocked him, but the problem is they came in through
I can't hear Matt.
And put dirty stuff up on
let me clarify
where he's at now.
Right, Raquel, they actually hacked his StreamYard is what happened. And he was recommending earlier, and I'm going to be setting this up with Matt also.
Right,
he was recommending having the 2-layer
affecting my signal. This microphone, right? There we are.
All right. Well, I'll definitely be watching for you tomorrow. I definitely want to see what that looks like during the daytime.
Oh, it's lovely, especially with the steelworks, because that's the oldest. That's the only one in Great Britain now that's running.
Really?
Yep. All the rest have shut down.
Very cool.
It's owned by Indians. It is.
So that'll be about 10. So, Dad, about 10 o'clock our time tomorrow morning, 10:30.
Okay.
And I'll send you the link.
I might still be sleeping then.
I know. Well, we'll see. Because actually, I'm going to have to get off because in about
no worries.
Well, in about 5 hours or so, 6 hours, 6 hours. My niece is bringing her son for me to watch, and he's 1.5 years. So
past me.
Yeah. So because Matt said that he'll definitely be there.
I can just do a video, but I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm a night owl at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't sleep in because, like I said, it's 5:30. I'm normally sleeping now, but it's the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah.
We have a lot the reason Dad is where he's at right now, that is not his stereo room, so to speak.
Yeah.
He's in the restroom at my aunt's house because everyone else is asleep. So
and it's the only quiet place I could talk without waking everybody up.
Right. But we have quite a few in our family that tend to be night owls. So which is why I tend to see you fairly often. But Raquel, I'm gonna try clarifying again. His StreamYard was hacked, and then they basically were putting things on his channel as if it was him, and so that's why it was even harder. And what we're saying is he's recommending doing the dual layer security.
Hang on, let me. Two-step verification. I'm recommending
two-step verification.
You just go into the Google account. I'll do a video and upload it tomorrow now.
That would be fantastic. Yes, please.
I'm recommending everyone do it because these trolls are taking the mick. They're attacking the wrong bloody channels.
Yes. Well, I happen to know some of the people that run some of the channels they are going after. They have no problems with not playing fair. So
I believe it or not, this is the first time I'm doing StreamYard through the iPhone.
Oh, really?
They're trying to bring us down to their level.
Yes. But something I had to learn, now you're not going to have this issue, but because Matt and I each had our own StreamYards, I completely killed one of his one time because I followed the link to go in to join on one of his live streams. So he was running it from his computer, but I was on the, oh, hey, Avid. Um, but I was in the
Squirrel.
other room and I followed the link to be able to go on and be one of the people on the panel. Problem is because I had already logged in to StreamYard on his StreamYard under, so when I went to it, even though it had me as a second person on the panel, I don't know if this is complicated, but essentially it thought I was him. So when I got off, I ended the stream.
Yeah.
So I've now learned that if I go in on StreamYard through the iPhone, then I have to completely log out before I put the link
click the
in
wrong
for
thing.
right, so
Yeah.
that I can go in under the right stream. And I typically, you'll hear me, like if I'm on one of Matt's, I'll say, could you kick me off? Because I don't want to take a chance. He had like
Yeah.
30 people, things were going great, and all of a sudden it was all just gone.
Now I'm going off. Now I'm going off
Okay.
topic again.
Go ahead.
Road Warrior wants to be very careful what he's doing with, like live reactions to music and everything.
Yes. There's a way to do it. The thing of it is there's a way to do it and stay within the copyrights.
That's
But,
right. I don't want him losing his channel as well. Like what happened to me, I lost it twice within 2 months.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
I'm gonna pop down now and see what's happening in the chat because I can't see him
Okay.
on.
It was nice meeting you, Ryan.
Hey, nice to meet you, Jack of all trades.
Yes.
That's one employment I've always wanted to do: electric, gas, and a bit of everything.
Yes. Just don't mix the electric and gas. That can be bad.
Oh, no.
It can be really
Hell no.
Don't
I got
talk
him
about
set up,
gas
Matt.
where I'm sitting.
Yeah. Don't talk about gas where you're sitting. See, you wonder where I get my humor? That's it.
Yeah.
That person, right?
Oh.
Nope, no, that way. Him? Yep, that's it.
Yeah, him in the middle.
And see, that's one. I'm using there you go. Stop it! He's picking on me. Try that again, Dad. How does that go? Oh no, not that. No, you mean this one? Is that what you're
Wait a minute.
seeing?
How do you do those signs? Oh, wait a minute.
There. Can you see that, Ryan? Still see?
2 hands.
Oh. I see. Yeah.
See.
Yeah, that was his dad. My pawpaw. That was his thing.
I learned that from the best.
Yeah, Avid says that would be fun. Anyway, thanks for coming up on panel, Ryan.
Frightened a poor lady.
Oh, you started
He frightened
jumbling
a poor
up on
lady
us.
at a restaurant that was taking the, taking the cash.
Right.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
I said he frightened this young lady at a restaurant, not a restaurant. What do you call it? It was like a buffet line. And he went to pay the bill, and he says, "Have you ever seen this?" And he did that, and she screamed, and she ran into the back, and the manager came up and says, "What did you do to her?" He says, "I just showed her. I'm not going out there with that." I don't hear anything. Anita, are you not talking or what?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. No,
that's
as I said, it sounded like I went dead there again because my internet's been up and down. But as I said, I've got to say something for my content.
Yeah.
I have so little to talk about.
Man, I don't know why I'm typing when I can just say this, Ryan. Yes, I'm definitely in. I am looking forward to seeing that tomorrow. Yeah, but we could. There's just so many stories. I don't know. That's one thing I really. Some people say that their lives are boring, and that we've done all this different stuff, and it's like, I don't know.
I remember you getting in fights at school because they say you can't have been all of those places, and you can't have done
Right.
all of this stuff. And she was having
Yep.
fights in school because of people calling her a liar.
Yep. Believe it or not. Yep. My daddy taught me how to do that too. Talk
Yeah,
about being
that poor
prepared.
guy at that
You learn to fight with what's handy. We've you know, it's something that I've seen go around on TikTok and all the others. It's like, um, you know, you have to grab the thing to your left, and it's what you have to fight off the zombie apocalypse. Well, you know what? Let's go for it. You know, anything. I was going through the yard the other day, and um, Cassidy said something like, you know, oh, that could be used as a weapon. You know, something that was there, and I said anything can if you know how to use it. Anything can be a weapon. A small person, isn't today small person tossing day or something like that? I think so. I think somebody told me that. So to Ryan.
I
Oh,
thought that
really?
was yesterday, but it could be. Throw a small
Yeah, it
person
could be
day. Yeah.
today. Yep.
I
Throw a
don't know if
small
you
person
remember
day.
or not, but there was a time when they had on the wrestling circuit throwing midgets.
Oh, I believe it. Those
Huh?
not supposed to call them that anymore. Little people.
Well, that's what the term was at the time.
Yes.
And
When
believe it or not, I
yeah.
grew up when there was a line in the bus, and the people were discussing had to be back behind it.
Yes.
And the people like myself were supposed to be sitting in front. But
Right.
the person like myself could walk back and sit in that area.
Right.
And they had no recourse.
Right.
And I remember the N-word only drinking fountains and the N-word only
Yep.
restrooms. That's the time period I grew up, and I didn't know
Right.
it was bad or good because I was just a child, and it was the way I was brought up. But
Right.
being in the military got me out of that, and I learned more. I mean, I had no personal prejudice.
Thank you,
But
La
yeah,
Familia. Sorry, I was referencing something in the.
right.
That's one thing I really like, and I really am going to try to slow. Well, we're going to be shutting off pretty soon because I do have to get up early. Um, but um, that with Matthew and Cassidy, like for example, some of the recent holidays and stuff, that my kids are getting the experience of talking to your generation
Right.
because for a lot of people, I would already be a grandparent. And, you know, for most people my age, or they're already grandparents. And so
So
my
which one's going to give you
kids,
a child first?
you'd be great. Anyway, uh, yes.
Tell everybody about Avid's new adventure on Saturday mornings.
Okay. Apparently, Avid has a new adventure on Saturday morning. What's going on, Matt? Thank you for sharing, Malachi.
On Saturday mornings, he hosts a fishing show.
Okay.
Kind of like they do the fishing contest tournaments.
Right.
It's not a tournament, but anybody can join, and you can even fish in saltwater, freshwater.
Cool.
Anywhere except paid ponds.
Can you? Did everybody catch that? Avid's hosting on Saturdays, basically a fishing. So not really a tournament so much as just fishing together and being able to kind of show what you've got and your skills. My skills would be showing how I can untangle knots. That's my skills. Ah, yes, he just said that. It's a fishing hangout, so that's pretty cool.
But he made it to where anybody can join him on the panel and do it. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep, I like seeing things like that, and I love that you know, right now with everything that's going on, um, you know, it's easy to get stuck in this thing where we lose touch with this broader community. And I really like how because Matt was watching some before, I was watching the occasional YouTube, but most of what I was watching YouTube for was learning how to do stuff, change something on the car, or, whatever. It was my research point. And occasionally I'd watch funny stuff, but it was, it was mostly for that. And through Matt, with watching some of the people he was, and then how it's grown, I really enjoy that we've gotten this community that we're become part of, because honestly, I'm going in so many different directions that I have family here on the property, a couple of family that's not on the property that I communicate with occasionally, and church. And those are really, I mean, beyond that, the people I see are like the
Las
workers at the
Vegas,
grocery store.
Alaska,
But right, but I don't talk to them much, Dad. I don't interact with
Denver.
them a whole
Yeah.
lot. Honestly, I interact probably with Amber down in Australia more than her mom in Las Vegas.
hmm
You know, and so
I've talked
I
to her
really,
more this month than I have in the
you know,
entire
well,
last 2 years.
I'm not sure if Mom told you. She probably did. That Amber was on with her live stream when Matt was setting up about y'all's 51st anniversary.
I heard something
Yep,
about that.
that Amber was able to get on for that for a while. And Sweeney, he's probably
You're
long
gonna have
gone
to
by
send me
now.
all those pictures that you had on that one
Yep.
recent one.
Okay. But Sweeney was on here earlier, and he's down in Australia, and I love when he gets on Matt's lives. He has kangaroo that'll just be right there that he shows, and his channel is really neat for that.
And the Joeys, he was showing the Joeys.
Well, you can show water moccasins and rattlesnakes.
Yeah, no, we can show water moccasins if I get it before Matt makes them go kablooey.
And alligators.
And alligators. Yeah.
He's still there.
And if you're lucky, you
He
can
is.
get your fish in before the alligator.
Oh,
tails
Sweeney.
it.
Yeah, he is still here. He is still here. Sweeney's still here. Dad, that's a channel that you would love to follow. I've told Ray about it before too.
Go follow him.
Yeah. They've got all kinds of. He was saying earlier that they just released a snake of some form. I forgot now because it's been a while. I'd have to scroll. Wish there was a way we could. So what? No kangaroo. Here at the moment, they are all off sleeping. I should be. I don't go live through YouTube, so I don't know that.
In Vietnam, they have the
I can't do
crite.
that.
They call it a two-stepper.
Yes.
The
Between this channel and his Bomber
Vietnam.
Steve channel.
Hey, he needs to put that link up.
Oh, Matt says, could you put up that link, Sweeney, for the other channel, and then that would be great. I didn't realize you had a second one either. Let me see here. Have stuff to the people they are spamming. Right, but and that may have been something that Rico was talking about earlier. He wanted to know who was following him or whatever. As far as that goes, I'm just gonna have to, as far as spammers and all that, do what I can to protect myself and be surrounded by good people who can help take care of things.
Yep.
And just take it from there.
Good Lord, that's a big old snake.
Suey's still here. Lunchtime, Anita. I'm still here. You're in my background while I'm doing some cucumber with grilled pork. Ooh. See?
Sounds good.
Matt says he'll be there in the morning. He just posted it, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
That's why I said, wow, look at that big ass snake.
All right, I'm actually moving over there now. All right, I picked over that is a big one. Let me see here.
I am. And tell Raquel that when I'm there, I'm watching. So.
Okay. With some of the things though, we're talking about some copyright things and stuff, especially doing things through my church. Dad, I don't know if you heard or not. We did get all the licensing stuff set up for the church. So
yes, I did hear.
Now
and I heard the music.
Oh, that's right, because y'all were watching on your way to when y'all were on your way up to Dallas on Sunday. So the only thing is
playing it while we were in the car.
Okay, even though We have all the licenses though, and have everything put in the not in the well, I put it in the comments also, but in the description. After the thing was posted, I had to go back in, and their bots will say this song was being played at this time. This song was, I mean, they recognized what songs it was.
Right.
And so what I did,
That's so they can monetarily
Dad,
and reimburse them.
is say hi to Suey.
Me?
Yes.
Hi, Suey.
Yeah, she's you know, Suey, earlier, I know you were listening and stuff. If you wanted to go back, there's pictures of when Dad was in Thailand. I shared up some of the slides and stuff.
So a cup.
I'd have to go back to be able to tell you what time. I do. I understand, Ryan. You did not go to an extreme, so you're all right. We still love you. He's apologizing for his language earlier, but
Appreciate it.
We okay, sorry, I'm catching over there. Oh, and Suey, this is my dad and not Big Matt's dad. He looks a lot alike though. I'm not kidding. If I put up a picture of Matt's dad and my dad, you would, but a
Anita?
lot of the genetics are from the same area. Yes, sir.
Tell her. So a cup.
She speaks Tagalog. I don't know if she
okay,
caught.
no.
Yeah, she's in Philippines.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's different language.
Yeah. Okay, Shogun. John was a little sweetie. He was a bit cranky out of the bag, but then all it wanted was to get away. No defensive reaction at all. Well, until I pushed it. LOL. Sweeney's talking about the snake that he released. Matt wants to know how long that was. That snake. The one in that picture. I think that was from a while back. That one's wasn't from today. I think it was a different one today. I don't know.
Tell
But
Matt
we'll go
he's
look.
going to have
We'll go
to take
watch
some pictures of snakes before he shoots them.
it. No, thank you. No, I'm not going to wait for him to video it before.
Well, then tell the kids
I
to be videoing him shooting them.
Okay, Sweeney says the biggest one he had so far is 5.5 foot. Can't wait till I get a good 6 or 7 footer.
Mention
We've had
Devin's
some king snakes
snake.
that are massive. Thing with the water moccasins, though, I mean, some of them are long, but they're thick. They're really thick. And they stink. They stink. Yep. Thank you for posting that one for Sweeney's farm. But anyway, all right. Oh yes, you can dispute. Yes, CPR. I understand what you're saying now. Yes, I did. With having since we have all the licenses, I wanted to be careful not to put anything up. But once we got the licenses, then I had to go back into the stream, into YouTube Studio, and go into it, and each individual claim, I had to go in and say that we do have rights, or we have rights
This is your
from the
license.
copyright owner. And then you have to go into a part where you put in all the license numbers and everything, and then it's put in a review. Now, this is happening constantly. So they've got people, some of the groups that I follow on Facebook are one in particular, specifically a group for sound and media for churches that do live stream. And these big churches, doesn't matter who you are, you still have to go through all those steps for everyone. Now, one of them said that that your worship team's having a bad day when you have no copyrights. when YouTube doesn't recognize that it's the song.
Are they singing their own songs?
Well, and you see, and that's something, so far to my knowledge, nobody's had a problem when I've sang one of Mom's songs. But but I have heard of a guy that wrote his own songs and everything else that he produces professionally. A church live streamed him playing at their church. and they
Right.
still had to deal with copyright claims
Well, yes, because
because
he's a commercial
right,
artist.
they
Yeah.
had to prove that it was him. And but they basically have computers that filter, they're looking for that set of sounds, tones, blah blah blah.
Right.
And right, older hymnals, I think a lot of that comes under fair use and or not fair use, public domain
Right.
is the older hymns. So um uh-oh, sorry Sweeney. He says he loves snakes and it upsets him when they are killed when there's really no reason to. They are a potential threat, um often not a real one. The main thing that we do, because we've relocated them, but because of animals and kids and everything else, we have a lot of um, copperheads and water moccasins. There have been
And our
times when
kids
we've
walk right across
relocated,
that pathway.
we have lost multiple animals. Um, and um, so now, if they're far away from the
We don't
house or
go out
whatever,
hunting for them.
yeah, we don't go out
If
hunting for them. But we've had you know, Cassie, I don't know how many times we've talked about, we've joked about getting a king snake to keep in our house to take care of mice. So we don't have a problem with snakes in general.
Stuff now to keep them away from the house.
We're also putting out lye and things like that, snake away, that um, keeps them away from the house area. So we do what we can to deter them. But sometimes when they're venomous and where they're at, it's more dangerous trying to move them than anything. But it's definitely a case by case basis. Raquel likes living in the cold part of Canada because there are no dangerous snakes.
you never heard of ice
Shogun
snakes?
says if they kill a snake, they eat it. What was that, Dad?
You never heard of ice snakes?
Ice snakes?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have sea snakes.
Sea snakes? But up in Canada? They're typically more. Sea snakes are normally more.
That is out in Canada that is cold-blooded. That is very,
Uh-oh. Sweeney has bad news on snake away. What's the bad news?
I don't use snake away.
Well, we have before. Okay. All right. So Sweeney, what's the bad news? But yeah, in general, I don't have a problem with snakes. But we talked about, Matt and I have talked multiple times about getting a king snake, keeping it in the house.
Bring up that
we
picture
had one
of
in the
Devin.
house once.
Bring up that picture of Devin and his snakes.
I'd have to hunt for it.
And
he just says it doesn't work. I know we use it. Matt uses lye or lime.
We use lye and we use peppermint.
Oh, lye and peppermint is what Matt's been putting around. I know that we didn't have near as much problem with them this summer as we have in the past. There was a few of them. Matthew Gillespie. He's actually been really good, Dad. That was the first real.
I know.
Yep.
He's doing his mouse imitation.
Yes. It's just the squeaky wheel gets the
spanking.
Oh. Uh-huh. All right. It is coming up on midnight here. We still have 12 wonderful people here, but
I'm gonna step off.
You know, it's
Belcher.
something. All right, Dad. Don't.
Otherwise,
be
we'll be
careful.
going all night.
Be careful. It could be a long drop. He's
Yep.
gonna step off. Oh, Backwoods Barbarian just showed up. All right. I love you, Dad. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Give everybody hugs and kisses. Ryan says, hope everyone has a good night. I'm off to sleep for a bit. Then I'm going to do a video on 2FATSV. Oh, two-way factor authentication. Thank you. Two-step verification. I appreciate it. I'll definitely be watching for that. Sweeney says, there is nothing you can put down. No chemical smell diesel, petrol, naphtha flakes. I've used those. Burnt eggshells, electronic buzzer, gizmo, or electric field generator. None of it works. We've done pretty well with keeping them out with the lye, but as I said, it's, none of it's foolproof. I tell you, my kids can spot a snake like you wouldn't believe. Yes, hardware cloth is what we call that here. It's the only thing that'll keep it away is 1/4-inch mesh. But good night, Shogun. We that's one of the things we're doing since I'm doing the other stuff under the house anyway. As we're doing new piping or new plumbing, the spots where it comes into the house, we're putting hardware cloth and the great stuff foam, the foam stuff, and then that way to keep basically the more we do to be able to keep my side of the house and to making it a place where they stay, it's going to be less likely that snakes are following them. So that's the best deterrent, is to not have anything that they're going to be going after, which when you live basically in a pasture is a difficult thing. But going live at 8. Okay, so you're going to put up a video in the morning and then going live at 8 p.m. your time. All right. All right. And that is best defense. Awareness and vigilance. Yes. Mesh where you can, and the best you will ever get is 99%, unless you live in an airtight sealed cube. Yes. As I've told multiple people, very few things are 100%. Yeah, Matt says the big thing is he wants to keep them out of his pond, especially because that pond, as far as I'm concerned, is right by our steps coming into the house. And yeah, that's a problem. Anyway, deny food. Yep. Deny habitat. Clean up. Yeah, crap in your yard. And deny shelter. Yep.
Hey, babe, tell Sweeney we're going to send him a snake catcher for training.
We're going to send you Matthew to help. You're going to have to train him to catch snakes. He's over there. What? I'm not kidding. My kids can spot snakes. Ones that, because the ones we have, well, the ones in most places, they're able to do for their environment. But oh, it says my sons took it to the creek in the woods and released it. A week later, we found her nest behind my dryer. Before or after they hatched? But yes, best way to keep any predator away is to deny it the things that it's going after. So, say the same thing about trolls. Anyway, all right. I literally could sit and talk to all y'all like all night long and would very much enjoy it. But I am going to need to be functional in just a few short hours. So God bless you all. Good night. And I'll be doing my best to follow y'all's videos. Now that we have YouTube Premiere, I'm more able to, yep. So after they hatched, I see that. But now that we have YouTube Premiere, some of y'all I end up watching like premium, sorry. Watching like podcasts and stuff. I'll do it and just listen to it in the background and stuff. So it's going to give me a better chance. Take care, sweetie. Everybody, I hope y'all have a fantastic night. Good night, Suey. And we'll see y'all again before too long, I'm sure. Oh, good afternoon. Yes. I'm going to have to put a clock over here that has time zones. So then we'll know. All right. Good night.